broadcasting stations. It's time for Sports 56 Middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie. Sports 56 Middays is presented by FedEx. FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. The first hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by Davis Motorhome Marts.
From the top on down, here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series, and the best team in baseball wins it all in 2018.
The Tigers reclaim their crown by crushing Alabama.
Brady under center, victory formation, takes the snap, falls to an E, and that'll do it. The New England Patriots have won.
And Virginia with the all-time turnaround title.
We the North are now we the champions. The Raptors, the 2019 NBA champs.
Now, here are your hosts for Sports 56 Middays, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
I got a piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun. Warm up the Georgia pie. Feels so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome into Sports 56 Middays. It's Friday. The sports weekend is upon us. Hope your Wet and Wild Friday is off to a great start. We got a lot to get into on the program today. I'm Greg Gaston, along with Eli Savoie, Austin Eldridge. We're in the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road. That's just north of I-40. It's the Friday, October 25th, 2019 edition of Sports 56 Middays. Sports 56 Middays is brought to you each and every day by our title and presenting sponsor, all the terrific folks at the FedEx Corporation. Make the most out of your e-commerce experience by finding insights and inspiration from other small business owners. You can learn more at fedex.com/e-commerce. All right, coming up on the program today, it is the home opener for your Memphis Grizzlies. They'll take on the Chicago Bulls tonight at FedEx Forum. And we got some tickets to give away, primo tickets to give away for tonight's game. We'll do that a little bit later on in the show with a trivia question that you'll need to answer via text. If you don't have the text number, it's 67129, and you know how to get involved in that. It'll be a question about your Grizzlies as they get ready to try to even their record up at 1-1 after losing their season opener Wednesday in Miami. We're going to talk about the Tigers' exhibition opener last night, their first of two, where they struggled a bit in the first half, ended up beating CBU by 33. No James Wiseman. And the question now surrounds his ankle. Is it serious? Is it not serious? Is it a precautionary move by Penny Hardaway? We will discuss that on the program today. The city of Memphis, the University of Memphis, one step closer to the possibility of game day coming to Memphis, not this weekend, but next weekend, as SMU held up their end. They beat Houston last night to improve to 8-0 with a 34-31 win. Now the Tigers need to take care of business at Tulsa tomorrow. It doesn't guarantee everything, but it certainly would eliminate things you would imagine if they lose for the second time this year. So we'll discuss that as well on the program. NFL week number 8 underway after last night's breathtaking Minnesota 19-9 win over Washington. On the program today, we'll talk NFL with Russell Baxter. That'll be coming up at 10:25. John Varlas, as he does every Friday, will stop by to talk some prep football on a wet Friday. And then at 12:25, Matt Babcock, the owner and founder of Babcock Hoops, a former NBA agent, will join us. He was in for the recent pro day at the University of Memphis, and he's going to discuss the Memphis Tigers and their ability to make it at the next level. He'll break down the players for us. That'll be coming up at 12:25. We'll have 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. We'll wrap it up with one final thing. We'll also talk to Troy Douglas from Gold Strike Casino Resort. That's all coming up on the program today. And if that's not enough, the World Series resumes in Washington with the Nationals leading the Astros 2-0. Busy weekend, Eli. Busy Friday. Everything coming together. Fun time of the year.
It is indeed. Weather not cooperating, but that's okay, I guess.
Well, you'll be in the booth calling the Christian Brothers game. At least you're not going to be out there playing, or one of the media members who happens to have a camera on their shoulders shooting the video tonight. I feel for these guys because I know all about that from my past. Although, I'll be honest with you, I had a lot of people who did the shooting for me when I was anchoring over 24 and 30, so I wasn't out there getting wet, but these folks will be doing it. But I've done it before. When I started my career back in the 80s in television, I know all about going out there in the rain with a camera shooting high school football.
I do feel for those pretty boy TV types that have to get out there in the rain and maybe get their hair messed up.
Easy.
I feel bad for them. I know it's a lot of time spent on the hair and makeup that gets ruined by the rain. Yeah, tonight I'm just supposed to be playing in a golf tournament, and tomorrow's not going to be very good.
Oh, wow. You want me to cry for you? Pull out the violin. Do we have the sound effects with the violin? No? We don't have the violin? Tough break, buddy. Are you going to still play?
I don't know. We shall see how the weather goes. It's not looking good. It's supposed to rain from now until
the end of time.
The end of the day tomorrow, I think. There's supposed to be a lot of rain coming our way.
And of course that'll affect to some degree the Grizzlies tonight, but we're talking about the outdoor festivities on the plaza and everything they had planned for the home opener. It'll be a wet and wild one, but at least inside, everything will be nice and cozy. They have the pregame music that we talked about yesterday, featuring a lot of the local rappers, and then it's the Grizzlies and the Chicago Bulls. And like I said, 2 tickets to give away, great tickets for the game to watch the Grizzlies, who look to bounce back after Wednesday night's performance.
Yeah, it'd be nice to win the home opener against a young Bulls team. They got a great performance the other night out of Lauri Markkanen. Got Kobe White, their first-round draft pick coming in.
Who I like a lot. And that was in a losing effort. A 1-point loss to Charlotte.
They lost to Charlotte, who lit it up from three-point range. I don't think the Bulls have to have concerns about tonight's opponent lighting it up the way Charlotte did from three-point range.
Boy, I hope that changes, though. I hope that changes. For the offense that Taylor Jenkins wants to run, they have to knock down threes. What were they, 5 of 32? Was that what it was? 5 of 32 or 5 of 34?
It was a little of a lot.
A little of a lot.
That's what they made a few of a bunch.
Hard to win. See. Hard to win games when you're that ineffective. Let's just put it that way.
Got a chance. Actually, last night I ran into former Grizzlies assistant Sean Respert, who is now an assistant with the Bulls. Saw him last night for a little bit, talking to him about this Bulls team and what's going on with them. But always good to see Sean, one of my favorite people out there. And I was asking about Wendell Carter, and he said that he believes Wendell Carter is going to be really, really, really good.
He showed signs last year. He wasn't consistently good, but he showed signs. And, of course, this Bulls team also features Thaddeus Young, who I believe comes off the bench, but a former Mitchell High School star, standout here in Memphis in the prep scene, went on to Georgia Tech and starred for years with the Indiana Pacers, so he will be home. NBA news before we get into the Tigers from last night. Bad news all around for guys. I believe they were in the same class, right? Bagley and Ayton 2 years ago, right?
They were 2 of the guys drafted in front of Jaren Jackson Jr.
DeAndre Ayton, the number 1 pick in the 2018 draft, suspended 25 games for violating the league's anti-drug policy as he tested positive for a diuretic. They will appeal and may get cut down some, and he apologized. He said he had no idea what he was taking.
See, that's just...
It's a pet peeve of yours, I know.
You cannot... I can never believe it. That you could never tell me that and have me believe that you actually took something that you didn't know what you were taking. Because I would assume he probably has personal trainers, certainly has team trainers who are probably the ones that actually get him the stuff. He for whatever. And you're a professional athlete.
You need to know what's going in your body.
Whose body is very important to you and your ability to make millions of dollars. And you understand that there are banned substances that you cannot take that can get you suspended for long periods of time. There's no way in hell you're just some trainer's just giving you like your trainer or team trainer's like, hey dude, just here's some stuff. Take this. Oh, okay, cool. I needed some stuff. I'm glad you got me some stuff. So let me take this stuff that I don't know what it is. Like, there's no way that is happening.
No, I hear you, but let me throw this at you. He plays for the Phoenix Suns. He's out there in Arizona. The regular season for Major League Baseball ended not too long ago before we've moved on to the postseason. Possibly he went to an Arizona Diamondbacks game, ate a couple of hot dogs. We don't know what the hell's in a hot dog. Blame it on the hot dog. That's all I'm saying. You can get that thing cut from 25 games down to 5.
It's just so like these guys who just that's the excuse. I didn't know what I was taking.
Right.
There's no way. If it is true, then you're just dumb. Like, how dumb are you that you are just taking supplements and things out there and not knowing what they are with what is on the line in the millions upon millions of dollars?
They are eventually going to catch you, even if you have Victor Conte, who may be dead now, but if he's working for you, you can mask it for a while, but they will eventually catch you. So that's certainly horrible news for him, but horrible news for the Suns. He apologized to the fan base. And then Marvin Bagley fractured his right thumb. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Is there a concern about Jaren Jackson Jr.?
He's he and
Trae Young,
Luka and Trae Young, all these guys. They're if they come in threes for that draft class, those guys all have to be very concerned. I would assume all are in action tonight.
Although Trae Young last night was unbelievable.
Atlanta may not play tonight. Since they played last night. I don't know for sure if they play tonight, but yeah, they should. If it does come in threes, somebody in this draft class. It could be Wendell Carter or Jaren Jackson Jr. here tonight in Memphis. Somebody's going down.
Fingers crossed. But you did say last week we had a couple of serious ankle injuries. It was Zion Williamson, and it was who was the other one? Or it was just injuries in general.
It was Patrick Mahomes and Zion Williamson we lost on the same day.
That's right. And you said does it come in threes? I swear to God, later that day, and I forgot to text you, somebody else of significance went down. I go, he's right. It always comes in threes. So look out. Wendell, Jaren Jackson Jr. We mentioned Trae Young probably not playing tonight because they played last night. I haven't looked at the schedule, but he was tremendous. And Luka Doncic in his first game, he was tremendous as well. Derrick Rose last night for the Detroit Pistons. Second straight great game for D. Rose off the bench. So the NBA off to a rip-roaring start. The new-look Houston Rockets with Russell Westbrook and James Harden together lost to the Greek Freak in Milwaukee, and the Greek Freak posts a triple-double in his first game.
Just a ho-hum. Let me go get you a 30-point triple-double. I got nothing better to do. It's Thursday, got nothing going on. I'll just go get a 30-point triple-double on your head.
He's incredible. But Russell Westbrook, I think, finished with 24 points and 16 rebounds and probably 7 assists. Not too bad. James Harden did not shoot the ball well. They probably would have won that game. He was not good from the field. All right,
so just got to the free throw line a million times.
And he made all his free throws. Last night here in Memphis at FedEx Forum, the Tigers, in their first of 2 dress rehearsals, took on Christian Brothers University, ended up winning the game 86-53. But that first half was not good. It was a team that looked at times lost, at times looked lazy, weren't getting to their spots. For the game, out-rebounded by a much smaller Christian Brothers University team. Now, I understand James Wiseman did not play, but come on now. And Penny Hardaway made it known in the post-game press conference. He talked about it. He said, whatever it was, we were so amped up for the moment, and it showed. And we struggled, and you wonder, how were you nervous? I mean, and DJ Jeffries talked about it, and Precious Achiuwa talked about it. I understand it's the first game, it's at FedEx Forum, but it's not a full house at FedEx Forum, and you're not playing Duke, for goodness sakes. It's Christian Brothers University, so you wonder, when they roll out the ball in Portland and they play nationally ranked Oregon, will the nerves show? Or when they play a conference game, a big conference game. So hopefully they get that out of their system. That's what Penny believes will happen. That's what the players talked about as well. They get another dress rehearsal on Monday against Lemoyne Owen. But the second half was much better, and Precious Achiuwa showed his domination with his physical ability and his athleticism. He went for 22 and 9. But really, a couple of the local guys were the best players they had. DJ Jeffries, a freshman, 12 and 6, but played pretty well and very much within himself. And Alex Lomax, you got to give him credit. He came in and hustled his tail off, 10 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. But hot and cold with the other guys, off and on. Sometimes they looked good. Sometimes they did not look good.
Yeah, I mean, the first half looked a little disinterested maybe at times. I mean, it is. I mean, while it's weird because it is the whole for all these guys kind of it's the first time you're in the uniform and you are kind of put on display, and there is going to be some sort of like nervousness, I guess, because it's the first. And so, but then there's also the thing of like it's an exhibition game against Christian Brothers University. It doesn't matter. So like it's
maybe the first few minutes you're ragged, you're nervous.
It's a weird dynamic that goes on because you're looking at that and going, I mean, okay, it's CBU and it's an exhibition. It doesn't really matter, but yet it is the first time we put these uniforms on. So I don't know. It's
it was also a first for CBU. They got a new coach and a lot of new players.
The idea that CBU would get 15 offensive rebounds, I mean, that's ridiculous, right? Quite frankly. They should not be getting 15 offensive rebounds with just the pure size difference between those two teams, let alone the athleticism and everything else. I mean, your Memphis is just bigger at every position. They should not be getting 15 offensive rebounds and getting out-rebounded in that game.
You said disinterested. I don't know if I'd use that term, but I understand where you're coming from. I would say they were lazy to get to the spots they needed to get to, boxing out. They weren't doing it early. And then you saw Precious, who said he let the game come to him, start to do the right things in the second half. And once he got in a position and boxed out, nobody was out-rebounding him. That's a small CBU team. But, yeah, there are certainly things that you look back at and you go, yeah, they need to fix that. They need to tighten this thing up. They need to do this, do that. And Penny knows, and Penny talked about it after the game. Now, the story within the story was James Wiseman, and I said it on the show yesterday. I said there is no way that James Wiseman is playing both exhibition games, may not play either, because I had known already that he was still dealing with this ankle and wasn't practicing, was on a stationary bike. I did not think whatsoever he was playing, although Penny had said the day before yesterday, on Wednesday, that all players were available. That's what he said. And then the first thing you see is him he's getting worked out on the training table. He's in his sweatsuit. Isaiah Stokes is as well, because he's still not been ruled eligible to play this year, and we don't know what will happen with the NCAA. And then Malcolm Dandridge, who nobody expects him to play, they expect him to be redshirted. So those three huge guys are sitting there in their University of Memphis Tigers gray sweatsuits, and everybody else was in action last night. But it was the first he started 5 freshmen, and that did not even include James Wiseman. So it tells you, if you don't already know by now, just how dependent they are on these young players, young, talented players, but it's going to take some time. But Alex Lomax, who certainly doesn't have the athletic skills as some of these other guys, all he did was put his nose down to the grinder and just go out there and ball. And I like that. And he had a really good game. Tyler Harris struggled again from the three-point line. If Tyler's not hitting three-point shots, I don't know why he's on the floor. I mean, I know in an exhibition game, but I'm talking about regular season games, close games. Tyler's got to make shots. That's it. He has to make shots.
Well, he had 7 assists, 1 turnover, so, I mean, he was doing something else.
Well, I know, and he had a nice drive to the hole, but he's there to make three-point shots. And when he makes three-point shots, it really opens up that offense for that team to get up and down, get up and down, get up and down. But when you're that talented, against a Christian Brothers University, flipping the ball to somebody who knocks down an outside shot is not that hard. Let's be honest with you. We didn't see this amazing, dazzling passing going to the hole. It was the Tigers stepping up and hitting some jump shots, some inside the arc, some outside the arc. But I like Jeffrey Stroke. He hit that 3 to start the game from the corner. I think DJ is going to be a really, really good player that doesn't get the attention that these other guys will get. But again, it's a team that's out there on the floor still without Wiseman, who did not play at all in the Bahamas, did not participate at Madness, has missed a bunch of practices. Do you think it's a question of, and now Penny was asked this question last night, and he said if he's ready to go, he's playing. So Penny put his foot down and said, no, he's playing. I'm not holding him out because he could be the first-round pick. I mean, the first pick overall in the draft. I'm not holding him out because of that. I'm holding him out because he's not 100% yet. And when he is given the green light, then he plays. And then James Wiseman tweeted out and said, I'm close, like I'm almost ready to go. So I don't think people have to worry about that. That's going to be one of those situations where they treat James with kid gloves because of his future. They're playing him. When he's ready to go, they're playing him. So I don't think it's anything for people to panic about, but it's certainly a bit concerning.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a guy like that who has some sort of injury, yeah, it is a bit concerning. But there's no reason to play him in an exhibition game if he's not 100%. So I would guess that if last night was the Oregon game or the Tennessee game or something like that, he would have played.
I would think so.
But I mean, it's an exhibition game, and you've got two of them. So, and even if he doesn't play against Lemoyne-Owen, so what? It's an exhibition game. Yes, you should be more concerned about getting James Wiseman to 100% than you are getting him some time on the floor in an exhibition game.
If he was 100%, I wouldn't play him in both these games. But that's just me. We need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to shift gears, talk some NFL. Week 8 underway after Minnesota's win over the Redskins last night in a pretty ugly game. Russell Baxter will join us. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
The Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Fall is fast approaching, and you know what that means. Time to start thinking about covering your pool. The best way to protect your pool, your loved ones, and your pocketbook is with a safety pool cover. Mario's Pools on Exeter and Germantown has the best advertised price on all pool safety covers, solid and mesh. Keep your pool looking great year after year. A safety cover requires less maintenance, saves money on chemicals and water, prevents standing water, and extends the life of your liner. Call Mario's Pools at 552-3399. That's 552-3399. Or just walk in and see him in Germantown on Exeter Road. Plus, he specializes in pool closings. Mario's has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Check out his reviews on Facebook. Protect your investment. Call Mario's Pools today. 552-3399.
Hi, this is Greg Gaston from Sports 56, and I want to tell you about Donnie Morrow and the Morrow Group at RE/MAX On Point Guarantee. They'll sell your home within 65 days or they will work for free. Donnie Morrow and his team have sold over 500 homes during the past 3 years, and over 200 homes sold last year alone. Call 901-359-9698 or go online at MidSouthHomefinder.com. List with Donnie Morrow and sell tomorrow. Realistically, these things can happen. Restrictions apply. See Realtor for terms and conditions. Free guarantee applies. A listing agent's commission. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Mom, I think this doll I found in the attic is cursed.
No, its eyes are just very lifelike.
Then why does its head keep spinning?
Be my friend forever.
Oh, that is scary.
You know what's really scary? Missing out on Geico's easy-to-use mobile app. You can manage your Geico policy whenever, wherever.
Let's play with another doll. Or we can just bury it deep in the ground.
Happy Geico-ween. Download the industry-leading Geico app today.
Audible members get more. Give yourself an edge with the world's largest selection of audiobooks, the most inspiring minds and the most compelling stories, all in one app. Plus, right now, members also get free daily updates from the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Washington Post, all delivered right to your phone and always 100% ad-free. Listen to Audible and stay up to date anytime, anywhere. Download the Audible app, start a free 30-day trial, and your first audiobook is on us.
Dirt happens, as well as debris, dust, and damage. And when they happen to you, you need good, clean, fast service. You need Hilo Commercial Services. Hilo specializes in construction, commercial, food plant, and industrial cleaning with customized service just for you. Hilo is also an expert at high dusting to clean hard-to-reach places. When dirt happens, call Hilo Commercial Services, 901-277-6733, or visit hilocommercial.com. Hilo Commercial Services, good, clean, and fast for you.
Memphis, it's official. Crab King Seafood is where it's at. For the most flavored seafood and biggest plates, run to a Crab King's near you. Visit our Bartlett Cordova location at 7140 Stage Road or our East Memphis location at 5992 Knight Arnold Road. Starting this week, get 3 juicy snow crabs, 17 shrimps, 2 whole sausages, 2 corn, 2 eggs, and a large side of potatoes for only $43.99. That's right, $43.99. The price, the portions, the service is why Crab Kings is number 1. Make the right choice the first time. Make it Crab Kings. Come and devour our tasty snow crabs, king crabs, shrimp, salmon, and catfish. Enjoy Memphis' best tasting pastas with your choice of toppings. Visit our Bartlett Cordova locations at 7140 Stage Road or our East Memphis location at 5992 Knight Arnold Road. Crab Kings is open Tuesday through Sunday. For more information, Google Crab Kings Memphis or download the app Crab Kings, a Memphis original.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays delivered by FedEx. This hour is also brought to you by Davis Motorhome Mart. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Welcome back, everybody. 10:28 is the time. Russell Baxter joins us here to talk some NFL. 11 o'clock, John Varlos will be in studio on the prep football scene. Last night, week 8 of the NFL season underway with Minnesota knocking off Washington. And, such a thriller. Minnesota 6-2. Washington falls to 1-7. In that game, Case Keenum got hurt, had to go to concussion protocol, so they had to play Haskins. They didn't want to. He came in and threw 3 passes. One was an interception. Dan Bailey, 4 field goals in that game. Dalvin Cook, 171 total yards of offense and a touchdown in the Minnesota win. Without further ado, he is Russell Baxter, NFL historian, TV and radio personality, writer for fan-sized NFL Spin Zone. ProFootballGuru.com is the website. You can follow him on Twitter at BaxFootballGuru. Russell, how are you?
I'm doing great, guys. How you been?
Doing fantastic. Obviously, we're in the midst of the trade deadline, which comes up, next Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. So we've had some deals. We've had some receivers dealt. But yesterday, I wanted to start off by asking about Michael Bennett. It didn't work out the way they had hoped in New England. And I think he had a run-in with Brett Bielema, the defensive line coach, the former Arkansas Razorback head coach. What exactly happened there as he ends up being dealt to Dallas? And can he help out the Cowboys?
Well, trying to get information out of the Patriots about what would have happened, we know how that goes,
right?
And so on. I could see the question. What can you explain to us what happened with Michael Bennett? We're on to Cleveland. Okay.
Next question.
Yeah, exactly. So, to try and guess and try to figure out, it's not that unusual. The Patriots offseason, let's be honest. Listen, they're 7-0. Their defense has been off the charts so far. I don't care who they've played. When you give up 1 touchdown pass and have 18 picks in your first 7 games, that's pretty impressive regardless of competition. Okay? But as far as off-season acquisitions, they have struggled mightily to get tight ends, as you well know. Okay? Mm-hmm. Some of the other deals that they made, be it free agent and so on, they wound up waiving those players. So, it's working in New England, working at Foxborough, working for the Patriots is not everyone's cup of tea. I'm not breaking any news there. It's a different regime. It's a different organization. It's also the most successful organization over a 20-year span. So I don't know the ins and outs, but it's not I don't think this is that unusual and that big of a deal as to what and let's be honest, Michael Bennett has bounced around the league, especially the last couple of years. As far as he helps Dallas, yes. I think he helps Dallas in a way that they need him, and not necessarily as a pass rusher. I think they need him for run support. Mm-hmm. You look at the Cowboys' defense during that 3-game losing streak, and they were getting exploited up the middle. Okay, I know they have those rangy linebackers who go from side to side and so on, but they weren't necessarily getting a lot of help up the middle of that defense. I saw what Aaron Jones and the Green Bay Packer offensive line did to them in their own building. I saw what the Saints were able to do to them to a degree. I mean, the Saints beat them without scoring a touchdown. So I think their defense, there's been so much emphasis, guys, on Dak Prescott and his contract and how much money Ezekiel Elliott got. And the tackles, Tyron Smith and Leo Collins being banged up this year. The Cowboys were supposed to be a better defensive team than an offensive team. We haven't seen that yet so far.
Yeah, and I think you make a good point, because with those linebackers, I think people have realized you're running outside against them is not the way to go, because they've got the speed there to get there. It's where if you run straight at them, they're not great at the defensive tackle position. That's where you can exploit that defense more.
Well, it's like pressuring some of the better quarterbacks in the league. Okay, you get around the corner on them. How many times have we seen? We saw it Monday night, to be honest with you, with Tom Brady being able to step up. Okay, when a couple of guys were able to turn the corner on, we see that a lot. What happens when that rush comes up the middle? It's a whole different story. You can't step up unless you're going to make that sack extremely easy for that person. Yeah. So the middle of the field is something I don't think we necessarily talk about football-wise sometimes. But if you really think about it, in sports in general, baseball certainly, if you're solid up the middle, if you're solid in the trenches, and you're solid inside, it usually adds up to a lot of good things.
Right. Bax, what do you think is the long-term solution at coach in Washington?
I'm sorry. Did you mispronounce owner?
So nothing will change as long as Danny Snyder's running the show, right?
I'm sorry. He's on his 9th head coach.
I know.
Okay, and by the way, people say, well, that's including the interims. I include interims. You know why I include interims?
Because they're the coach currently.
Sometimes get kept.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So he's on his 9th coach. Unless he thinks Bill Callahan's going to get the job done next year, he'll be on number 10. Okay? I mean, Bill Belichick's been in that same place. But Danny Snyder took over the Redskins after the draft in 1999. It was the spring, I think, of 99. The draft had already taken place. Okay? Bill Belichick became the head coach in 2000. So they've had one head coach. The Pittsburgh Steelers have had 3 head coaches since 1969. Okay? So if you go back and you look and look at the tenure of these coaches under Daniel Snyder, okay, I believe Jay Gruden had the longest.
Yep.
Okay, so you go back and look at the sporadic results, okay? He had Marty Schottenheimer for a year. He had Mike Shanahan for a while. It's not like he hasn't had named coaches, okay? Some of them with quite the resumes. I mean, Joe Gibbs came out of retirement and coached for 4 years and got them to the playoffs twice, by the way, too, okay? So, I go back and look. I know I have to remind you guys of this. I go back to the Chargers. When Marty Schottenheimer was there and Norv Turner was there and A.J. Smith, the general manager, was there, and that was a talented team, but as an organization, they never seemed to be on the same page. That stuff up top filters down to the field.
Yeah.
You better be good in the front office. You better be good talent-wise, okay, and you better be good coaching. And you better have a plan. And I don't know what the Redskins' plan is, and I haven't known it for a while.
I still don't quite comprehend what they're doing at the quarterback position, because, I mean, they're not going anywhere unless you're just afraid that Dwayne Haskins is going to get killed by playing. What are you gaining by throwing Case Keenum out there?
Well, I mean, they swung the deal for Keenum. I think that's a different story in Washington. I mean this sincerely. If Trent Williams is not a holdout, okay. Mm-hmm. They're it's a shame. I know they played Miami, and I understand that they played the rain in San Francisco last night. They bent a lot, over 400 yards, but they still only gave up one offensive touchdown and gave up a bunch of field goals. The Redskins defense probably deserves a better fate. It's taken them a while to get, but they got a nice little 3-man line with Jonathan Allen and Adonis and Deron Payne, who made that play. You saw that early in the game, way downfield to tackle Stephon Diggs and help force a fumble. Okay? So they've got some decent defensive personnel. But they can't consistently move the football. They got a little spark from Adrian Peterson last night. God bless him, man. My goodness.
Yeah.
By the way, nice job by the Viking fans last night.
Yeah, that was cool.
Moved up to sixth on the all-time rushing list. He still plays really, really hard. I don't think there's any lacking of effort in Washington. I just think it's a lack of direction. What direction is that team headed in? And I think you guys kind of alluded on it. I think they are protecting Dwayne Haskins, and unfortunately, they've thrown him into games where he was, either be benching or Keenum, of course, got the concussion last night. I think he threw 3 picks when they threw him in against the Giants, and then last night he threw an interception as well. So he's kind of more like in the, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he only started 1 year at Ohio State, okay, even though he put up huge numbers.
Right, yeah.
The middle of the season is not the time to develop your rookie quarterback.
Absolutely.
He's kind of like in the Mitch Trubisky mode, to be honest with you.
No, that's a good point. That's a good comparison, actually. Russell Baxter joining us here on the program. Speaking of quarterbacks, we have a situation brewing in New Orleans and in Carolina because Drew Brees is on his way back, and I would imagine Cam Newton is also on his way back. But Kyle Allen's undefeated as the starter in Carolina, as you know, and Teddy Bridgewater in New Orleans. Drew Brees will absolutely take the job back over when he comes back, but I'm not so sure about Carolina. And what would you do in the situation of Ron Rivera in Carolina with Kyle Allen at 4-0? Cam wasn't actually playing lights out before he got hurt, and is it a double standard? What are we looking at here with those quarterbacks coming back from the injury?
Why don't we just make it simple? Why don't you trade Cam Newton to New Orleans and Drew Brees to Carolina?
No thanks.
I was expecting a bigger chuckle than that. So I don't know if it's necessarily a double standard. Cam at the beginning of last season, when they were 6-2, looked like he was doing okay. I don't think he played lights out, but I thought he was steady. But it's really evident that when he is not 100% physically healthy, he is a below-average quarterback. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, and that's not a knock on him. That's just the result. Okay? He labored. He labored the second half of last year with that shoulder injury.
Is that because he needs to be physical? Is that because he needs to run? He needs to be a physical quarterback, and when he's limited, it becomes a liability because he can't go full 100%.
I think that's a big part of it. Okay? If one of your attributes is your ability to run and take advantage of your size, and you're not physically where you want to be. I mean, to me, when I look at Carolina, the difference with them, with Cam, is the fact that Kyle Allen is healthy. That's really what stands out to me more than anything else. In the case of New Orleans, to me, that's the most complete team in the NFL. Okay? And you know this as well as I do, being down there and seeing the Saints a couple of times a year and so on. They've gotten away from relying on Drew Brees throwing for 5,000 yards and putting up astronomical numbers passing-wise because they get tired of doing the Bueller 7-9, 7-9, 7-9 every year. Okay? There's a reason that no quarterback has ever led the league in passing yards and won the Super Bowl the same season. That's a 53-year track record. Okay? Because you got to have balance. And last week they went into Chicago without Alvin Kamara and still were able to run the football on the Chicago Bears. And I love what they've done the last 5 weeks because they have shown how many different ways they can win. They can win 33-27. They can win 13-6. They can win 36-25, although I know the Bears didn't get touchdowns until the last 3 minutes. Okay, their offense got no touchdowns to the last 3 minutes. Remember, it was a Patterson kickoff return. So to me, New Orleans shows you from top to bottom that they are not a Drew Brees show anymore. And we know if you are too dependent on your quarterback, and your quarterback has let's face it, that was the problem when we saw a hobbled Patrick Mahomes for a couple of weeks. Okay? That was the problem in 2011 when the Indianapolis Colts did not have Peyton Manning the entire year. Okay? After being in the playoffs 9 straight years. That wasn't coincidence. Football's not a one-man sport. So I love and I also like what Carolina's doing because they are energetic. And McCaffrey's having a huge year. The wide receivers are starting to come into its own. Brian Burns has been a lot of fun to watch. They look like a confident football team. In fact, I think them and San Francisco have really jumped off the charts about the style which they play, which is great because they play each other this week. San Francisco, my goodness, they've become a very, very fast and physical football team.
You mentioned Mahomes. Kansas City is not going to try and play him this week, right? Like, you can't. It's been like 10 days since the guy's kneecap was dislocated. It over one football game with a franchise quarterback, that wouldn't even be worth it.
I mean, I find it hard to believe. I mean, I found it hard to believe he was throwing this week. Okay, and yeah. I guess from what I heard, he's elevated in terms of. I mean, he wasn't practicing with the first team; he was practicing, but he was still throwing the ball. Okay, and I said to somebody on another show the other day, I have this vision of Mr. Miyagi walking into the Kansas City training room and slapping his hands together and rubbing them. Now, I'm not asking anybody on the Packers to sweep the leg. Let's make that clear, okay? But I will say this, okay, and I don't know what's going to happen, and I'd be honestly really surprised if he did play, okay? Because if I'm Andy Reid, I gear up my running game against that Green Bay defense, which is great at rushing the passer, but not very good at stopping the run. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get a sack when the running back has the football. Agree, guys?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, even though they won by 18 last week, did you see what Josh Jacobs did to their run defense?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what Dalvin Cook did to their run defense earlier in the year, even though sometimes things kind of get passed over and ignored. I know Andy Reid has not relied on the run this year. I think that's one of the Chiefs' problems. He needs more of a run to protect his own defense, okay? And the Colts proved that by keeping Mahomes off the field, and the Texans proved it by running the football. And, by the way, the Texans came back from 17-3 down in Arrowhead Stadium because of the Chiefs' defense. So how do you protect that defense, and how do you protect a backup quarterback? You gear up the running game. LaShawn McCoy, I think, still has something in him. It'd be a good night to give him the ball 25 times.
He is Russell Baxter, NFL historian and a writer for Fanside at NFL Spin Zone. He's a TV and radio personality, obviously a radio personality. He's on with us. ProFootballGuru.com is the website. Tell everybody about the website.
Well, ProFootballGuru.com is part of the Maven Group, which I'm sure you've read some of the things that's going on with Maven right now and so on. And we're entering a very, very excited time. I've got a number of guest writers who come on and do previews for me. It's also a place where a lot of my stuff from Fanside and NFL Spin Zone lands. We also have Julie Voigt and I, who is a Colts writer. We have collaborated on a project for the last year and a half called PSG Vibe. It's Voigt's Insights and Baxter's Expertise, VIBE. We do a series of podcasts, and every week we do what's called, it's the awards. You know how they give out AFC and NFC Players of the Year, of the week? Right. We do offensive player, defensive player, and we do team. So I came up with pat on the back, player and team. I like to have fun with letters, in case you haven't figured that out yet. So we do that weekly. And the most fun working with Julie on that project and working with her in general. By the way, Julie Noted _PFG is where you can follow us, and you can follow PFG Vibe on Twitter as well, is we do not know what the other person's going to pick as far as offensive, defense, and team. So we submit them completely separately. Either I get mine in first or vice versa. So there are, like this week, we both have Aaron Rodgers, but she also threw in Teddy Bridgewater. We both had Chandler Jones. She had the Colts. I had the Ravens as far as the most impressive team. So we're just having a blast. As you can tell, I kind of like what I do.
I know you do. It's all about having fun and having a good partner like you do, obviously, on those podcasts. He is Russell Baxter. Again, you can follow him on Twitter at BaxFootballGuru. Always appreciate it, Russell. We'll talk to you down the road.
You got it, guys.
Love having this guy on. He is really, really knowledgeable with the National Football League. He's been covering it for a long time. Folks, Davis Motorhome Mart, they've been dealing with motorhomes and selling motorhomes and talking motorhomes for years and years. A family-owned and operated business. And they are the first-hour sponsor of Sports 56 Middays, located at 1145 East Brooks Road. You can give them a call at 901-332-3414. They'll answer any question you have. Or check them out online at davismotorhome.com. They have over 7.5 acres of beautiful travel trailers, motorhomes, fifth wheels, and toy haulers, towable half-tons, motorhomes from 27 feet up to 45 feet in length. Brands like Winnebago, Coachman, Puma, Highland Ridge, and Tiffin. They are a top 10 Tiffin dealer in the U.S. But like I said, it's more than Tiffin, with all the big-name brands covered at Davis Motorhome Mart. And right now they got an amazing sale going on all the 2019s, brand new 2019s. You're going to get a very discounted price because they're trying to make room. Even though they're huge and got over 7.5 acres, they need to make room for the 2020s. So if you are in the market, you're thinking about it, you've been thinking about it, check them out because this is the best deal you're going to get. Their big blowout sale on all their 2019s. It's Davis Motorhome Mart, 1145 East Brooks Road. Again, call them at 901-332-3414. When you do, tell them you heard it here on Sports 56 Middays or go online to davismotorhome.com. More Middays when we return on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Sports 56 now has 2 FM homes. You can now find Real Sports Talk on 96.1 as well as 87.7 on your FM dial.
Audible members get more. Give yourself an edge with the world's largest selection of audiobooks, the most inspiring minds and the most compelling stories, all in one app. Plus, right now, members also get free daily updates from the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Washington Post, all delivered right to your phone and always 100% ad-free. Listen to Audible and stay up to date anytime, anywhere. Download the Audible app, start a free 30-day trial, and your first audiobook is on us.
Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
Adios, old friend. Yeah, I've got no secrets and no regrets. Well, a lot of regrets, but the point is I've got nothing to hide. Kind of like the way Progressive shows you their competitors' rates. You gotta put it all out there, baby. Excuse me, miss. Does this heart belong to you? Would you like it anyway?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparisons not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hi there, saver. Looking for a Medicare plan to help you save on more than just prescriptions? Medicare Advantage plans may offer prescription drug, medical, and hospital coverage. Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many Medicare Advantage plans, including United Healthcare. So when you enroll in a plan with Walgreens as your preferred pharmacy, you know you're saving smartly. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Other plans may be accepted.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays delivered by FedEx. This hour is also brought to you by Davis Motorhome Mart. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
World Series resumes tonight. Game 3 in Washington with the Nats leading the Astros, the heavily favored Astros, 2-0. It'll be Anibal Sanchez for the Nats and Zach Greinke for the Astros. I'm not a huge Greinke fan, but I have a feeling he's going to pitch well tonight. I still don't think this series is over by any stretch of the imagination, although others, including our friend Brandon Lang, thinks it is.
Astros win tonight.
I got a feeling, too. I got a feeling, too, that they're going to win. So, speaking of the Astros, boy, oh boy, did they butcher the whole Brandon Taubman thing, or Taubman. And Taubman was fired yesterday, although there are people like Sports by Brooks out there on the social media platform saying the Astros didn't fire Taubman, not even close. It was all Major League Baseball. It was, whether it came mandated from Rob Manfred or whether it was somebody else urging that owner or general manager to make that move. But they could not have butchered this thing any worse. First of all, not basically, but calling the Sports Illustrated writer a liar or a fabricator, not even doing any homework to find out if it was true or not. And then after getting all the negative publicity, backing off, saying they were wrong, and going ahead and making the move to fire. There was no question, Eli, that once they knew there was egg in their face and other people had popped in to support the story from that Sports Illustrated writer. In other words, there were other people who heard what he said. There was no doubt that they were going to get rid of him. But again, whether it was them or whether they were urged to do this or basically mandated to do this by Major League Baseball, that's a whole other question. But they butchered this thing from the start.
Yeah, this is like if you were teaching a class on PR, this would be the example of everything you don't do.
Right.
Like they could not have handled it any worse. It is almost amazing to think that an organization, a professional sports organization, could be this bad in handling. With all of the people you have on staff that work in PR and everything else, the idea that you could handle something this poorly is really amazing. That nobody could figure out, wait a second, guys, we are doing this all wrong. We have got to figure what shut up, everybody. Like somebody needs to, all right, quit issuing statements. Let's get this thing figured out, because we continue, every statement we put out makes us look worse than the previous statement that we've put out.
Absolutely. Look, hey, I'm not some PR marketing firm professional, but I think it's PR 101. The first thing you do is say, we will look into this. We will investigate. Or I will talk to the proper people to discuss this and look into it themselves. We will do our due diligence. We will find out. We will get to the bottom of this. That's all you have to say. Any of those things instead, you don't quickly dismiss the story, call the writer a liar, a fabricator, and then move on from there.
The simple start is, we apologize to anybody who was offended by the comments of our employee. We are looking into it, and we'll figure and see what needs to be done.
You can even go that far.
Just start there. Just start with a simple apology. Like, if you were offended, we apologize, because we can't tell you that you shouldn't have been offended or whatever. And we're going to figure out what happened and then make decisions based on what happened. But we'll start with, if you were offended, we apologize for that. That's a simple start.
We will look into this. Again, if that's what happened, we certainly apologize. We are not about that.
Last night, this tweet, I don't know if they did a press conference last night or whatever, but Jeff Lunau, the GM, was asked whether he had personally reached out to Stephanie Epstein to apologize. Lunau said he's been busy and hasn't had the time. Stephanie was sitting in the room.
That's another good look, isn't it?
Seriously, how can you be this just tone deaf about this situation? No, man, I just haven't really had a chance to reach out to her. Well, you could right now. She's sitting right there. You could say something right now, but you choose not to.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the Astros struggle with the whole the guy that came over from the guy from the Cardinals was with the Astros, and he went online and he stole things. I'm trying to remember that.
He stole stuff.
And didn't they butcher that PR as well? Didn't they struggle with that one? at first, too. I mean, the Astros have had some issues. I think they've had some issues. I remember all the exact details of that, but I do remember there was something there, and that was a problem as well. But this one, the absolute worst. All right, we'll take a break. Hour 2 coming up. John Varlas will join us to talk some prep football on a wet Friday. If you have a game you want John to look at or you want to talk about a specific player in the area, go ahead and text us on the First Bank text line at 67129. JV's next. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
How you doing, people? And if you're in the market for a new Chevy car, truck, or SUV, new or pre-owned, see my guys at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. They will treat you like a star. It's simple as ABC. A is the All-Star Challenge to beat any written offer from any Mid-South dealer, or they buy you a tank of gas. B, better buying experience. They value your time and make it quick. C, customer care. They want you to be an All-Star family member for this car or truck and all the other ones you'll ever need. And before you head to All-Star and Olive Branch, check out the inventory at allstarautogroup.com. Silverados, Equinox, Traverse, Impala, Camaro. They have all you ever need with the best Chevy lineup ever. So don't go to Collierville, The Pike, or South Haven. Find new roads to Olive Branch and All-Star Chevrolet. Minutes from anywhere in Memphis, or go to allstarautogroup.com. Just mention you heard about them on this station and you'll get a Malco movie gift card when you test drive any All-Star Chevy you want.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. It is that time of year where the weather is unpredictable, and given the recent storms, it's a good time to discuss insurance claims. So here's a few things you should know. Always hire a local contractor, because if you have a problem with your roof down the road, you want to be able to find him. Never allow anyone to pressure you into signing a contingency contract. They're used as sales tools, making you feel committed, and the truth is, those contracts are not worth the paper they're written on. Be careful of door-knocking salesmen. Some are reputable, but many are not. They canvass the neighborhood and tell everyone to file a claim, working their percentages and not caring if you file a claim even when they know the likelihood of it being approved is low. Some will even damage your roof, hoping to convince the adjuster it's storm damage. That's fraud, and contractors have gone to jail for that. So do your research and know who you're hiring. Five-Ash Roofing, the official roof of the University of Memphis Athletic Department. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Audible members get more. Give yourself an edge with the world's largest selection of audiobooks, the most inspiring minds and the most compelling stories, all in one app. Plus, right now, members also get free daily updates from the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Washington Post, all delivered right to your phone and always 100% ad-free. Listen to Audible and stay up to date anytime, anywhere. Download the Audible app, start a free 30-day trial, and your first audiobook is on us.
Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
Adios, old friend. Yeah, I've got no secrets and no regrets. Well, a lot of regrets, but the point is I've got nothing to hide. Kind of like the way Progressive shows you their competitors' rates. You gotta put it all out there, baby. Excuse me, miss. Does this heart belong to you? Would you like it anyway?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparisons not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is a cow whose milk became everyone's favorite cheese at the craft fair. But cheese only lasts so long. The impression a small business makes needs to last much longer. And now Vistaprint is introducing free shipping on all business cards in any quantity. Choose from hundreds of fresh designs tailored to your type of company, or upload your own. The choice is yours. The time is now. For a limited time only, get free shipping on all business cards in any quantity with promo code 9393. That's promo code 9393 at Vistaprint.com. Vistaprint. Own the now.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1, and 87.7 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app, and at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays presented by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by Gold Strike Casino and Resort in Tunica. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Welcome back, everybody. 11:02 is the time on this Friday, October 26, 2019. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoie, and Austin Eldridge. We are in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Their factory direct pool, table, and spa sale is going on right now. Sports 56 Middays is delivered each and every day by our title and presenting sponsor, the great folks at FedEx, providing global access for small business. Learn more at fedex.com/e-commerce. And the second hour of our program is brought to you by the Gold Strike Casino Resort and the new Moneyline Book Bar and Grill. We're going to talk a little bit later on in this hour with Troy Douglas from Gold Strike, a little bit more about what's going on with this incredible sports book, which is more than just a sports book. But it's Friday. It's 11 o'clock. You know what time it is. It's time for JV.
It's time to talk some high school sports on Sports 56 Middays. Joining Greg and Eli is John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. Check out John's prep coverage at dailymemphian.com. Now, here's John with Greg and Eli.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Said a joker to the thief.
Our good friend John Varlas joins us in studio from the Daily Memphian. You can follow John on Twitter at John Varlas on this rainy Friday. Smiles, John, smiles.
Hey, I am excited to be here with you guys as always. I can't tell you how much I've appreciated this opportunity this year. It's been a lot of fun for me, honestly. I mean, that's from the heart, and that's true. But
thank you.
I'm tired, man. I mean, we had a long day of state volleyball yesterday. Congratulations to St. George's and Briarcrest on winning state championships. I mean, they were fantastic, phenomenal matches. You know, great girls, great players on both teams, and it was fun to be up there. And then, Houston finished runner-up against, just a juggernaut team in Brentwood. So congrats to Houston as well on a great season. But I'm whipped, man. I am tired from all that excitement.
It never stops for you.
No, it never does. But I'm going to try to get this energy level up and be productive here in the next 20 minutes.
Well, I'll throw it right back at you, man. We thank you for being a part of our show each and every week because you bring so much to the table. And again, this guy's the most knowledgeable, ladies and gentlemen. He does it. This is all off the top. He has no notes. He knows all these kids' names. If you're not following John and reading John at the Daily Memphian, you're messing up here. You're messing up big time.
And as you tweeted, you're upset with the whole managerial situation in Major League Baseball because of a tingler.
I am. I'm probably one of the few Padres fans in Memphis, and I was really hoping to get a manager in with experience, and instead they get the assistant quality control coach from the Rangers, not the quality control, but the assistant quality.
Well, here's the thing, though, because clearly the quality control coach of the Rangers is not doing that good of a job because they had that quality. So you didn't want him. You wanted the guy below him that was just waiting for the opportunity.
No, and Jace Tingler, I'm not going to get too far into it, but he's an analytic guy, and I think he's somebody that probably the GM, AJ Preller, can control, as opposed to a veteran manager like a Joe Madden at the Angels or Joe Girardi, who's Greg's Phillies were fortunate enough to pick up, and I salute them for that because I love Joe Girardi. But, I mean, heck, I would have taken, Brad Osmus. I would have taken Mike Matheny. I would have taken Buck Showalter. Just, Ron Washington was in there. Somebody with a track record of managerial – of managing, somebody with a track record of managing.
Said they went with an apprentice.
But you said the Cubs got a better hire. We didn't get a guy with any track record.
No, but David,
you've heard of him,
but David Ross is a former. Jace Tingler, he's a career minor leaguer. David Ross at least played in the majors, so maybe they're trying to, recreate that, Rocco Baldelli or
the Mike Schilt thing. It's more like right. Nobody knew who Mike Schilt was.
Well,
it turned out to be all right.
Nobody knew who Mike Schilt was, but he was, he had a ton of time in the Cardinals organization. So even there, I don't think you could come into a job with a less impressive resume and walk in and try to command that locker room. I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough.
Well, here's what you
or a less impressive name. All due respect to the Tinglers.
You said that they can control him, and in my experience, if you do have a Tingler, it needs to be controlled. That you should always try and control those Tinglers, because if those things get away from you, you got all kinds of issues.
I think you can get a prescription for that, honestly.
Yeah, if they really, really struggle, all those signs that will not be allowed in the stadium when they try to get through security. No, sir, you can't bring that sign into the ballpark.
I just hate it. To finish up on this, I just hate it because I think they're going to be doing the same thing all over again in a couple of years. Looking for somebody else.
That's what I felt like when they got
a lot of good young talent too. Like the Padres are they have something there. Now you're dealing with the Dodgers at a $300 million payroll, but there's some good young talent that they've got.
No, there's a ton of good young talent, and I think probably the thing that put Tingler over the top was, he's fluent. He's fluent.
It's just funny to hear you say that.
He's fluent. He's fluent in Spanish. And a lot of their good prospects are.
That's good.
Young kids that primarily speak Spanish as a language, and I think that probably put him over the top, but. My goodness! I mean, I would have taken Gabe Kapler. I would have taken.
Wow. No. Because they tried that experiment, and I knew that wasn't.
Well, I didn't think he was all that bad, to be honest. I think there was probably some other factors in play there in Philadelphia. But I mean, anybody. I just wanted somebody with experience.
As we do every week, talking baseball with John Varlas and the Tinglers.
Anytime you can talk Tinglers.
Let me ask you this first before we get into the actual games. We saw the mass exodus of the Whitehaven linebackers to go to Knoxville. Obviously, that was something that they had discussed, decided to do it all together, and it was, I forget which night it was, but boom, boom, boom for Jeremy Pruitt. 3 very talented players headed west.
Yeah,
or east.
Yeah, they go west. They have to go a long way west.
One was actually going to head west to Arkansas and decided not to.
One was headed west. One was headed, I guess, south. But yeah, yeah, congrats to those guys, man, and congrats to Jeremy Pruitt and whoever's doing his Memphis recruiting, because to go in and pull all 3 of those kids from Whitehaven, Bryson Eason, Martavius French, and of course Tamarian McDonald, to get commitments from all 3 of those guys is just amazing. I mean, Tennessee is really trading in off some of the recent good vibes and some of the recent good publicity they're getting. I mean. They were able to flip French. He had committed to Arkansas, and he decommitted and subsequently has committed to Tennessee. Same with McDonald. He was committed to Mississippi State, and he decommitted and is going to go to Tennessee as well. And then Eason, who hadn't publicly said anything one way or the other. So I mean, they're getting 3 amazing football players. 2 guys that I think are going to be linebackers in college, French and Eason. McDonald probably projects out to be more of a safety type in college. He's a little bit smaller, but just 3 phenomenal football players, and with bringing Eric Gray in last year from Memphis, Omari Thomas from Briarcrest is going to be visiting up in Knoxville this week, and Tennessee is one of the finalists to get Big O. I mean, I don't know who the person is, but whoever it is really doing a good job, recruiting the Memphis area, and the kids are. Obviously it's resonating with the kids on some level. It's working, whatever they're selling.
But they did have the couple of guys who went to Knoxville and ended up leaving, the lineman from MUS, whose name escapes me.
Drew Richmond.
And then, of course, the problems with Jeremy Banks.
Jeremy Banks got into trouble, but, they also have another kid from Cordova up there who's played pretty well recently, Jerome Carvin, the big lineman.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody.
You're not going to hit on everyone.
No, you're not going to hit on everyone, and obviously, Jeremy Banks hastened his own departure. I mean,
right.
He's a terrific player, and he'd obviously still be there if he hadn't did and said the things he did to get him kicked off the team. But yeah, I mean, everybody's different, but they're doing a really, really good job, and hats off to Bryson and Martavius and Tamarian, because you will, I've said this before, but you will not see 3 linebackers on a high school team as good as they are anywhere. Short of maybe one of the one of those academy prep school type teams that recruits from all over the country. I mean, you just won't see it.
Yeah, when you're sending all three linebackers to the SEC, like that's just really impressive, man. Tonight, I'll have the call of Christian Brothers as always, and they got Wooddale tonight. You wrote an article about Wooddale, who comes in with a 7-1 record. Their only loss is to Briarcrest, who also beat Christian Brothers. John Jones, their quarterback, among the area leaders in basically every statistical passing category. Kylan Grant, their wide receiver, up there as well. This is a good Wooddale team. I'm looking forward to this game tonight. This should be a really good game.
It should be a fun game. I would fully expect Christian Brothers to probably win just because of the size and the depth matchup. But that's not what Wooddale was going for here. They're in 3A and they're poised to make a good run in the 3A playoffs. I really think they're built to win. Eli, like you said, Jones is a terrific quarterback. He's a dual threat option. He's a 3-year starter at quarterback. He's a 4-year starter overall because he started at wide receiver when he was a freshman. And then, he's got a really terrific target in Grant, who's, number 2 in yards this week in the Shelby metro area, receiving yards. They got a couple of great corners that'll pick off passes, Terinsky Rogers and Rodney Bridges. And they got a really solid defense, which, hasn't given up a point in region play all year. Now, granted, that's against, a little bit lesser competition, but, it's still very formidable. This is a Wooddale team that's beat, they beat Lausanne earlier this year, which, Lausanne's down, but it's still Lausanne. They put 54 points up on Byhalia. They played Briarcrest arguably as tough as anybody has this year, losing a game that was close in the second half. So this is a good Wooddale team. And like I said, the result is going to be less important than just how, just what they are able to do and take from this and go forward in the postseason.
John, can White Station hang with MUS tonight?
I think White Station can hang with anybody. They're just that talented. They've got so many playmakers over there. Last time we saw White Station was a couple of weeks ago against Whitehaven, and of course, the kids we just talked about and the other kids on the Whitehaven defense, they, thoroughly baffled White Station's offense. The quarterback was intercepted 4 times. They couldn't get anything going on the run game, but they've had sufficient time to tweak that. And I think they'll come out and put forth a better showing against MUS. But having said all that, MUS is really strong. They have a terrific defense of their own, and it's going to be hard to throw against them with guys like Devontae Nelson, who is committed to Memphis, and Roderick Lewis and Cody Hopkins in the secondary. I mean, that's a really good secondary for MUS, and it's going to be hard to throw against those guys. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I would lean towards MUS if I had to pick, but. White Station's one of those teams that it's always going to be tough.
MUS they went double overtime last week with JP2, which surprised me. JP2, both Christian Brothers and Briarcrest blew them out. And then all of a sudden double overtime with MUS. I was not expecting that.
I wasn't either. And honestly, if you probably talk to MUS, I don't think they were expecting it. But yeah, it's one of those games. It's hard to go on the road. It's hard to go on the road at any level of sport. It just
especially
is.
That long drive and everything else.
It just is. And Pope John Paul is they're definitely not the best team in that region by any stretch, but they're still a representative football team. They've got talented players and. Looked like they were able to hit MUS with some big plays. And here's the thing, Eli, MUS got ahead in that game 23-0. So I wonder if maybe a little bit of complacency set in, or maybe PJP tweaked a little things that MUS was a little slow to react to or whatever. And
the thing too, because this is when Christian Brothers was preparing to play JP2. The one thing that JP2 does, they have a million trick plays. Yeah. And they don't care. They will do double reverse passes. And they hit one against Christian Brothers that was going to go for a touchdown, except for the guy at the 5-yard line. Somebody got him from behind and stripped the ball away from him. And it was a fumble that Christian Brothers. But so they will hit you with these things. And Thomas McDaniel told me, defensively, they just take risks that other teams will. They'll just bring everybody. They do a lot of unorthodox things. And so on offense, because of all these trick plays, they're just going to hit you with some big plays. And then all of a sudden the game can start going one way or another based on that.
Well, okay. And hearing you say that with them getting down early 23-0, that probably lends, credence to the belief that they might have even dug a little bit farther down into the bag of tricks than usual and just, caught MUS unawares on a few things. And then all of a sudden the game's tied and, kids being kids, things get tight, nervous, and, nerves start to set in. And, before you know it, you're in overtime and you're battling for your life against the team they should beat. But credit to MUS for pulling it out. They did pull it out. They've got White Station tonight, like Greg said, in a non-region game. And then next week they travel to Briarcrest to finish out the regular season. And that's going to be an amazing, spectacle, a great high school game. So,
yeah, they'll play. Them and Briarcrest will play to decide numbers 1 and 2, and then Christian Brothers will be at MBA to decide 3 and 4 on this side of Division 2-3. Yeah.
Also tonight, big one in Mississippi for Olive Branch. They're 6-2. They're 4-0 in the region. They got Oxford 7-1, 4-0. I don't know how strong Olive Branch is. Oxford always seems to be strong. Talk about that matchup.
No, that's arguably the game of the year down there in that region. Greg, I mean, one thing that's really stood out from Olive Branch this year is the play of that defense. There have been, several games this year where, they didn't score a lot of points, but they still managed to win. And, you look at the numbers, you look at the box scores, man, they are just not letting people generate yards and subsequently points on that defense. Javian Adams, Cato Carr, those guys, they're doing a terrific job for the Olive Branch defense, and OB has a quality running game too, led by a kid named Gary Banks, who actually started his career up here in Memphis at Freedom Prep, and then transferred to Olive Branch subsequent to his junior year in 2018, and he's turned into a big time performer for them. I saw something that they sent out this week. He's actually only the second player in Olive Branch history to have back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons, which to me was kind of hard to believe considering all the great success that Olive Branch has had lately. But that's true. And Gary's done a great job for them, really well coached with Tyler Turner. But that defense, man, that has really been the key to the Olive Branch success this year. And if they can have another good performance against Oxford, I give them a chance. Oxford's strong. They're really, really good. But, if they can come through on defense again, they're sure they got a chance.
Somebody texted in the first big text line, said, I'll talk about that game that JP2 scored, then got an onside kick and got momentum. And again, that doesn't surprise me that they would be doing onside kicks and things like that. Somebody else texted in, ask any trouble for Millington going up to Ripley.
I don't think so. I mean, like I just said, there's always trouble when you go on the road, but I really like this Millington team with Tommy Clifton, who we profiled a couple of weeks ago in the Daily Memphian, just an outstanding team, a team that's, battled through some adversity. The senior class has not had a lot of success, but this year they have, and they're really enjoying it. They're they're kind of playing with house money at this point. Whatever they do going forward is gravy and fun and something that program's not done a lot of before. So being up there a couple of weeks ago, I get the sense that these guys are loose. They're confident. They're playing good football, and I think they know they're playing good football. I think they know they got a pretty solid team. And I expect them to win at Ripley. They'll close out against Bolton in the finale, which is a region game, and Bolton struggled this year. So I like the looks of Millington going into the playoffs with a really pretty 9-1 record. That would be fun for Millington.
You had a chance recently to watch ECS. They're 7-1. Munford 6-2. Again, this is one of those road games that you talk about. Sometimes you struggle a little bit on the road. What do you see in this one?
I really, really like ECS. I mean, I really, truly do. This is a team, to me, that has no weaknesses going forward in Division II AA. They've got, it starts up front with the line, and they've got a massive line, especially for a small private school. I mean, it's just amazing how big these guys are, especially, it starts with Dietrich Pennington, the highly regarded juniors, 6'5", 320, but they got 4 other guys that are in the 260, 270 pound range, and those guys are road graders, man. They clear massive holes. The game I was at last week against St. George's, I mean, they were clearing holes that Eli, you and Greg and I probably could have gone through, man. It was incredible.
You clearly didn't see my 1 year of high school football when I tried to play running back. It takes a really big hole for me to get through it.
Trust me, these were really big holes, and ECS has good running backs. I mean, Jalen Greenwood is a future Division I player as a sophomore. Matthew McMeans is a good, speedy, little tough, hard-nosed running back. They've got a quarterback, Jacob Hatcher, who doesn't throw much, but when he does, it's effective. And he's a big kid with a cannon arm, and then you got, of course, Austin Hill kind of orchestrating everything, a kid that's, right now committed to Army, but potentially could have some quote unquote bigger offers coming in as we wrap up the regular season here. So yeah, this is just a really, really good ECS team, and I'm excited for their potential going forward.
But by the way, let me interrupt. Speaking of the armed forces, Navy, an offer for Lincoln
Perry, our guy,
got the offer.
Well, and here's the thing with Lincoln, and somebody said it a couple of weeks ago on social media when we were debating the whole Lincoln Perry question. It just takes one school to kind of step out there and say, hey, we're interested in this kid, and recruiting and recruiters being the kind of people they are, they're like, oh, well, if Navy offers, maybe we should get into it. So I think that is going to open the door for Lincoln to potentially have some quote unquote better offers than what he's gotten already. He's gotten an offer from Navy. I think, somebody pointed out to me that he's also gotten an offer from Southern Miss earlier in the process. But yeah, I think, with Navy stepping out there, this might be a time for some of these other, big schools to say, hey, well, maybe we should take a shot at this kid because,
can only run for 300 yards in a game so many times before people notice.
Well,
right.
And you talk to people that they'll tell you, they'll say he might very well be the best running back in the state in Class 6A. He's got it all, grades, character, and then you put the football into it too. Why not take a shot on this guy as opposed to
I get it. It doesn't make sense with the numbers he's putting up, and again the biggest division. So it's not like he's picking on the little guys. It's funny too because we talk about about going on the road, things that happen. Tonight could be one of those nights too because it's going to be wet. There are going to be some sloppy games around this area, and you get that wet football. This could be one of those nights where crazy things can happen because turnovers could start, things could get a little wild.
It really could. And you look at, even the pros struggle with these kind of conditions. You look at that god-awful game between Washington and San Francisco the other day. When
9-0.
9-0. Come on. But
I think pro quarterbacks struggle to throw a wet football. High school quarterbacks with the smaller hands or anything else, they're certainly going to struggle throwing a football.
Smaller hands, poor fields, lack of drainage. All this stuff it's crazy, and we could definitely see some of that tonight because of the weather. So it's going to be interesting. The weather is a great equalizer, but it will be raining on both sides of the field, so I would not expect anybody to use that as an excuse. And there were actually a few schools that kind of got ahead of the curve and scheduled their games for Thursday night. Southwind and Covington and some others being prime examples of that. But yeah, it's going to be wet, and everybody's just going to have to deal with it, and including yours truly, who, like I said, honestly, I'm running on fumes right now, and I'm
all I care about is
you need some Jolt Cola.
As long as I know there's no lightning, make sure there's no lightning, so we don't have any delays to the game. It can rain all night.
John, real quick, and we don't have a lot of time to examine this, but what has been the problem, the issues with Cordova this year? They're 3-5, 0-2 in the region. They got to play 8-0 Houston tonight, and they've been really, really good lately, but this year they've been struggling.
Two things with Cordova. They're still, number one is they're still very talented, but they have kind of cycled through last couple of senior classes. They've lost a ton of really, really good players. The guys we were talking about, Jeremy Banks, Carvin that's at Tennessee, Quentin Bohanna that's at Kentucky and doing really well. These are kind of guys that have graduated and cycled through the program in the last couple of seasons. So they're kind of in a rebuilding state a little bit. And then the second thing with Cordova, Greg, they have played, by winning percentage, they've played by far the toughest schedule in the area. Yeah. They've played Whitehaven out of conference, which is a one-loss team. They've played Briarcrest out of conference, which is undefeated. They're playing Houston tonight in the region. Houston's undefeated. They played Lausanne, which, subsequently has not had the season maybe people have expected, but still a very good team. So they, statistically, they played South Panola. They've played a really, really
that's tough.
Yeah, they've played a really
tough.
They
need to schedule Abilene Christian.
Well, Marcus Wimberly's not going to do that. When he was at East, that's one of the things he prided himself on. He playing a really tough schedule, getting ready for the postseason and that kind of thing. Taking on all comers. He prides himself on that, and lots of respect on Coach Wimberly for that. But, you couple that with a team that might be in rebuilding mode in a little bit, young at some spots. That's
a
what you
good
get.
point.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
Again, I'll have Wooddale and Christian Brothers tonight on 560 AM. Peter Edmiston will have the call. Germantown is at Whitehaven tonight. That'll be on 96.1 and 87.7. That's going to be a
good luck.
Tough one for Germantown.
Good luck to Germantown.
They've had a rough year, and good luck at Whitehaven to anybody.
Well, Whitehaven's a fun place to visit for the neutrals.
Not so much for the visitors to have to play them.
No, everybody's super cool out there. It's really nice. I mean, you hear this from people around the state, that aren't familiar with me. Oh, Whitehaven, should I go there and see a game? Is it safe? All that,
yes.
all that nonsense.
Rodney and that gang is they're class.
Just class. Exactly. It's a great place for high school football. It's it's a terrific environment. Like you said, Greg, everybody on the staff from Coach Salisbury and Coach Harmon and Coach Dillard on down is a class act. The kids are for the most part awesome and amazing kids and great football players. So yeah, if you're a Vol fan, go out there and check out the future of your defense, because almost half of it is going to be out there on the field tonight.
All right, an energized John Varlas. Somehow he's going to find that energy, because he's going to do a kick butt job once again, as he does every Friday. Thank you, John.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I really, really appreciate it.
John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about that SMU win last night, coupled with the Tigers game in Tulsa. If they could take care of business, are we getting that close to game day? Could it come to Memphis? I think it's possible. We'll talk about it when we return. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
One thing I really admire about Central Barbecue is their commitment to quality.
Then why do they let you do their commercials?
I'm talking about their food. Everything is prepared with devotion to taking the time and effort to create perfect barbecue.
Oh, I know. That's exactly why I was wondering why...
They're not kidding with that slow-smoked Memphis-style slogan. They smoke their pork for 14 hours. Do they have to? They do if they want to be the best barbecue in Memphis, and they are.
And yet they let you just throw together...
There's nothing better than Central Barbecue, because they care.
Except apparently about their radio ads.
The doors never close 24 hours a day at Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 12 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town, grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
I'm here interviewing Macaulay Williams, CEO of Big River Distilling Company here in Memphis. Macaulay, tell us about the uniqueness of your Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye.
Well, Eli, both my products, Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye, are produced right here in Memphis, Tennessee. The Blue Note Bourbon is a premium small batch blend, minimum age of 9 years, served at 93 proof. The Riverset Rye is a straight rye whiskey, also at 93 proof. It's a great spicy, herbaceous tone. It's great in cocktails.
Where can folks find the Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye?
Both products can be found at any local liquor store here in Memphis and also at most bars and restaurants. Next time you're down the town, be sure to ask your bartender for a glass of Blue Note or Riverset.
And is there anywhere else that folks can get more information about your products?
Yeah, absolutely. At our website, BlueNoteBourbon.com or RiversetRye.com. Also, be sure to follow us on social media at Blue Note Bourbon or at Riverset Rye.
All right, well, that sounds great. I can't wait to try a bottle.
Yeah, Eli, I really appreciate the support, and hopefully you and your listeners can pick up a bottle today.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. It is that time of year where the weather is unpredictable, and given the recent storms, it's a good time to discuss insurance claims. So here's a few things you should know. Always hire a local contractor, because if you have a problem with your roof down the road, you want to be able to find him. Never allow anyone to pressure you into signing a contingency contract. They're used as sales tools, making you feel committed, and the truth is, those contracts are not worth the paper they're written on. Be careful of door-knocking salesmen. Some are reputable, but many are not. They canvass the neighborhood and tell everyone to file a claim, working their percentages and not caring if you file a claim even when they know the likelihood of it being approved is low. Some will even damage your roof, hoping to convince the adjuster it's storm damage. That's fraud, and contractors have gone to jail for that. So do your research and know who you're hiring. Five-Ash Roofing, the official roof of the University of Memphis Athletic Department. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Ruddock Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. Group play and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129.
Bust it.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays delivered by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by Gold Strike Casino and Resort in Tunica. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Grizzlies set for their opener tonight, their home opener against the Chicago Bulls, and head coach Taylor Jenkins announcing today his Coach Jenkins Assist for Education program for the upcoming season. Through the program, Jenkins has pledged to donate $10 per Grizzlies Assist throughout the entire regular season to provide educational support for students in Shelby County schools. That's fantastic. Hopefully, John Morant will cost him a lot of money.
Dylan Brooks will not.
Maybe Dylan now will pick it up because he knows Taylor Jenkins is doing this.
I can make the pledge. I could do it for $10 for every Dylan Brooks assist. I mean, it's like, you cover that with a $20 bill probably.
Speaking of the Grizzlies, I hold in my hand 2 tickets for tonight's opener. This is the home opener for the Grizzlies, and these tickets are each $162.
16 assists.
Yeah, that's true.
Each is 16 assists.
Your math is impeccable. This is in section 106. So I got great seats, and we're going to have a trivia question that we're going to do via text. So you're going to have to answer it via text, 67129. Obviously, the first one in with the correct answer will be contacted. And I now set the stage for one Austin Eldridge to throw out this Grizzlies trivia question.
All right, so here is the question for you to win the tickets. The FedEx Forum opened in 2004.
15 years ago.
15 years ago already. It's crazy.
That is
insane.
That is hard for me to process. It does not feel like that FedEx Forum is 15 years ago.
I know. It feels like it should have
We
just
need
opened.
a new arena, but no, that's not.
So, this is a 2-part question. What was the result on that opening night, and who was the leading scorer for the Grizzlies in that game?
Okay, so when FedEx Forum opened, the opening night for the Grizzlies.
What was the result, and who was not the leading scorer in the game, the Grizzlies' leading scorer?
Okay. And did that happen to also be, was the season opener, was the home opener the season opener? Was this one in the same?
Yes, I believe that. Yes.
I believe so.
Okay.
I got the result. I knew what happened, the result of the game. I did not come up with the leading score.
Okay, leading score for the Grizzlies, result of the game, text in at 67129, and it's easy to join, right, Eli, if they don't know?
Yeah, if you've never signed up to text, all you got to do is text 56-JOIN to 67129 first, and then once you're signed up, you'll get a little response there when you text that in. Then you're signed up, and you can text us anytime or any of the shows anytime. But yeah, if you've never signed up, all you do is text 56-JOIN. That's 56-JOIN to 67129.
$324 worth of tickets. Again, the first correct answer, you will be notified.
I will say this: if anybody gets this right without looking it up, they are scary.
Nobody's going to be able to. They're all going to look it up, or
like I can
they
remember
won't
the
admit
game.
to looking.
I can remember the game. I remember the game. It was easy for me to remember what happened in the game, but the leading scorer, you could have given me all day long, and I would not have come up with it.
You can give me all day long, and I don't remember who they played. I believe me.
Eli actually got that part right without looking. He knew who they played.
I remember who had a huge game for the other team, but I did not remember who the leading scorer was for the Grizzlies.
I just simply don't remember. Last night, SMU Houston to open up college football week number 9 in a huge game in the American Conference. The Mustangs hang on and beat Houston 34-31. They gave up a late touchdown and then had to come up with a defensive stop, which they did. Fourth down try for Houston to no avail, and they had to give up the ball. SMU ran out the clock, and they improved to 8-0. It's interesting. The 16th-ranked Mustangs are in the same division as the Tigers, right? So you would think on the surface a loss by SMU is good news for Memphis, but no, in this case, it would have been bad because Memphis is hoping that game day will come a week from Saturday. Now, I saw the Chris Fowler video that was posted last night on social media. Remember, Fowler is he's the play-by-play broadcaster for the big game on Saturday night, which very well could be the Tigers. So I don't know by him posting that if it has anything to do with game day, but it has a lot to do with the big game. And we're a step closer with SMU taking care of business. Now it's up to the Tigers.
A lot of people think Fowler still hosts game day. He does not. Reese Davis took over that, and Fowler just does that game, which we know that there's a good chance that the Tigers are going to be that ABC primetime game. It'll be either that or it'll be a 2:30 game on either ESPN or ABC.
Yeah, look, I don't even think they're not playing games. This is not veiled in any sense. We've had Fowler. We've had Herb Street on Twitter. We've had the Bear, who makes the picks, and he's a producer, Chris Fallick, I think his name is, who's come out and said some things. They're not screwing around here. I mean, Memphis is seriously being considered to host game day. And we know it's either going to be the 2:30. Is it the 2:30?
2:30 or 6:30.
2:30 or 6:30. So we know it's going to be one of those big-time games, but game day is what everybody wants to know. And I really do believe it. I feel it's going to happen as long as the Tigers take care of business. They will play at Tulsa. We previewed the game yesterday. We had Mike Norvell on the show. We talked about, avoiding the pitfalls of looking ahead. Tulsa has played team stuff. SMU, triple overtime before they lost. Cincinnati last week, strong effort at Cincinnati. Don't look at that 2-5 record and think it's a cakewalk. And they're playing at home, and it's homecoming. Tulsa's a 10.5-point dog. So there's all those things that Tulsa can use as a little bit of momentum there to take into this game. We're dissed. We're not being looked at seriously enough. We're a home team and we're a 10.5-point dog. They can try to use all that to their advantage. So this is one the Tigers have to be certainly geared for from the start. And that's what they were last week, albeit at home against Tulane. When they went to Temple, they were not ready. And they really lost that game in that first half with a horrible start to the game. You need to start out quickly against Tulsa and don't give them that feeling that they can win this game. So if they can take care of business, I think, I don't want to say it's coming because I don't know if it's coming, but I feel pretty confident that it will. And that's crazy because I never would have thought that in my lifetime that the game day could actually come to Memphis.
Yeah, we've talked about it. It's a perfect storm as far as the schedule goes, in that they're the only real premier matchup out there among the Power Five is Georgia, Florida, and they've already done those two this year. They've done, I think, Florida twice. They've had Florida twice and Georgia as well. So you look around the rest of the matchups for that week, there just isn't much there. So, it's one of those things that just on the idea of like them coming here, no. And I was going to look back at this. I know they did Temple the one year when they were hosting Notre Dame.
Right.
Have they, they do the FCS. Have they ever done a non-Power 5 when they were hosting a non-Power 5?
I will do my best to find that out for you. We also have a winner, by the way.
We do have a winner? Okay, well
I'll get to that one in a second. So let's just...
I have to. I just trying to think.
On the surface,
it's been so long. Maybe they did back, but I can't remember them because there's very few times they're at a non-Power 5 school.
When BYU was part of the Mountain West, did they do a BYU Boise State thing or something like that? On the surface, I'm going to say no. But this is just a guess.
I'm guessing no as well, because there are very few times they go to a non-Power 5 school.
Right.
And if they do, like again, Temple they were hosting Notre Dame. Like it was they weren't there because it was Temple. They were there because of Notre Dame. But I don't know. I don't know, but I have a feeling this could be a first if they did it.
Here's the other thing, and I think people realize this. If SMU wasn't the story, like let's say SMU was 8-0, but SMU every year is a good team, right? They haven't had this long spell since they were last ranked or didn't go through the death penalty like they did. If that story wasn't there, I don't know if they would even consider coming here despite an 8-0 and a 7-1. It's SMU's the story why they're looking at this. Now, you throw in Memphis and SMU are battling, same division, two really good teams, and it makes the storyline even better. But the storyline starts with the fact that SMU is a team that has battled back from the death penalty, and it makes it more intriguing.
Sorry, Greg, I didn't mean to cut you off. Are the Ivy League schools considered FCS? Like Harvard and Penn, or are those FCS schools?
They're FCS.
They went to Penn when Harvard was at Penn.
Yeah, so that would, but that, I'm talking FBS, non-Power 5.
I thought you said FCS. I'm sorry.
No, they do
non-Power
FCS
5
all the time. They're doing it this week. I mean, they're going to South Dakota State. Like they do that basically once a year.
He's talking about group of 5 schools.
Two group of 5 schools playing each other.
South Florida at Army. They were in South Florida. That would count, right?
Yes.
That was in 2003. That's the first one I've seen.
Okay.
South Florida at Army. There you go.
Well,
but they were in South Florida. South Florida was.
What conference was South Florida in then?
South Florida was in Conference USA, and then Army may have been an independent.
Army's always been independent, right? Or am I wrong on that?
Army was in the was in a league. Was it Army? Army was in the MAC. Wasn't Army in the MAC for like a couple years? Was that Army that was in the MAC for a couple years?
Oh, you're right. South Florida was Conference USA.
They were Conference USA at the time? Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk with Troy Douglas from the Gold Strike Casino Resort. But we do have a winner. Austin, what was the answer, by the way?
The result was the Washington Wizards won the game, and I'm going to say his name wrong if I don't.
Bonzi Wells.
Bonzi Wells was the leading scorer for the Grizzlies. I had a lot of Stromile Swifts being guessed, but that was
how many points did Bonzi have?
Now that
19.
I would have. Yeah, okay. Eli was going to have that right.
Led the Grizzlies. Now, who was the star for the Wizards?
Well,
why do you remember this game?
Because the Wizards had nobody. They were all hurt. Like they hit, and Juan Dixon went off. That's what I remember. Juan Dixon went crazy. I guessed he would have been their leading scorer, but Anton Jamison actually was their leading scorer. Jamison had 34, Dixon had 28. But literally they basically played 6 guys. Like they had nobody, and they just came in and they dominated the game. It was embarrassing because of all the guys. Gilbert Arenas, Larry Hughes, Brendan Haywood were all hurt, or they were suspended. They had nobody, and they went out and just dominated the Grizzlies.
I still don't remember that.
They did 2 of these in 2003 actually. They went to Bowling Green for Northern Illinois at Bowling Green that same year.
Back then they were doing
the MAC
it more.
Attack. Wow, yeah. Okay, we'll take a break. More Middays coming up on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Sports Time with Rollo and Stacks. Every weekday afternoon from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Hi, this is Greg Gaston from Sports 56, and I want to tell you about Donnie Morrow and the Morrow Group at RE/MAX On Point Guarantee. They'll sell your home within 65 days or they will work for free. Donnie Morrow and his team have sold over 500 homes during the past 3 years and over 200 homes sold last year alone. Call 901-359-9698 or go online at MidSouthHomefinder.com. List with Donnie Morrow and sell tomorrow. Realistically, these things can happen. Restrictions apply. See Realtor for terms and conditions. Free guarantee applies. A listing agent's commission. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply. Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The Big Hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. This is a legit product. The key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out
complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text TAP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text TAP to 42424 right now. Text TAP to 42424. That's TAP to 42424.
Get your gun, Nelly, and saddle up Penelope. It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Buick GMC. Old-time trading prices on over 700 new Buicks and GMC trucks, and the Sunrise Used Car Corral has over 500 in stock. Ranch managers have been told to cut prices to the bone, and remember, you can bring your car to Sunrise Service no matter where you bought it. If you're a good person with bad credit, SunriseMemphis.com will help you put one of your brand on these little fillies. Free hot dogs and Cokes at the Chuck Wagon. Western Trading Days going on now at all 3 Sunrise locations. We make it fun to buy a car again.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything's made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials, like Monday baked chicken, Tuesday chicken fried steak, yum, fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $7.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $9.99. And veggie plate, $8.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Man, you're making me hungry. Let's go. You drive, I'll buy.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Eddie Smith and the Memphis Spunkhorns, Reba Russell and the Natchez Band. Open 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. daily. Neil's Bar and Grill,
where the fat man rocks.
Memphis, it's official. Crab King Seafood is where it's at. For the most flavored seafood and biggest plates, run to a Crab King's near you. Visit our Bartlett Cordova location at 7140 Stage Road or our East Memphis location at 5992 Knight Arnold Road. Starting this week, get 3 juicy snow crabs, 17 shrimps, 2 whole sausages, 2 corn, 2 eggs, and a large side of potatoes for only $43.99. That's right, $43.99. The price, the portions, the service is why Crab Kings is #1. Make the right choice the first time. Make it Crab Kings. Come and devour our tasty snow crabs, king crabs, shrimp, salmon, and catfish. Enjoy Memphis' best tasting pastas with your choice of toppings. Visit our Bartlett Cordova locations at 7140 Stage Road or our East Memphis location at 5992 Knight Arnold Road. Crab Kings is open Tuesday through Sunday. For more information, Google Crab Kings Memphis or download the app. Crab Kings, a Memphis original.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays presented by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by Gold Strike Casino and Resort in Tunica. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sports 56 Middays. As Mr. Announcer Man said, Hour 2 of the program is brought to you by the new Moneyline Book Bar and Grill at Gold Strike Casino Resort. We can't thank the folks at Gold Strike enough for being a part of our show each and every day, and this place is absolutely unbelievable. And every Friday, we're going to have somebody on from the program or from the Gold Strike to talk on the program about what's happening at Gold Strike Casino Resort, and we will hear, I'm sure, an awful lot from our friend Troy Douglas, who's the Vice President of Marketing at MGM Resorts International. He's at the Gold Strike, and he joins us now on Sports 56 Middays. Hey, Troy, how are you?
Doing well, Greg. Thanks. Appreciate you having me on today.
Thank you for joining us, and thanks, as I said, to Gold Strike Casino Resort. So I can only say so much about this this unbelievable new Moneyline Book Bar and Grill. People really need to see it for themselves. But from your mouth, how would you describe the book and how different it is from a regular book?
Sure, yeah. Well, one way that, has probably been the biggest difference in the feedback we've gotten from people is that it's more than, like you said, a book, and it feels more like a sports bar than it does necessarily a sports book. And once you're inside the venue, you've got a little over 60 TVs in there, a couple of really large video walls 9-foot by 16-foot video walls. There's some private VIP seating in there that you can place orders from just sitting right there with one touch. And we also have a Topgolf swing suite in there. So, again, more of a sports bar feel, still plenty of opportunity to make, place bets right outside the venue, but inside it really doesn't feel like a book as much as it does a great place to watch a game.
As we say, it's sports, gaming, dining, and nightlife all rolled into one exciting destination. You mentioned not just in the book itself, but you have kiosks throughout the resort where you could also place wagers.
That's right. Yeah, really a new addition within the last couple weeks to the property. There's 10 kiosks throughout the building, and just allows to a little bit faster speed of service, if you will, especially during busier times where any guest can walk right up to the kiosk and place their bets there and kind of at their own pace, if you will. And, obviously with how big football is in this area and soon to be basketball, the lines sometimes on weekends can get, to where there's a little bit of a wait, and the kiosk can help you avoid that. And so far the customers have really enjoyed it that have used it or find it to be very user-friendly.
Troy, do folks need to make any type of reservations to come in and not obviously to place bets and to go to the bar, but obviously you talked about some of the seating that's available, the virtual golf with the Topgolf. What do they need to do as far as making sure they have a seat and have a chance to go and play with the virtual reality golf? What do they need to do?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, especially during the week, a reservation isn't needed, but I would advise to just go ahead and either call ahead or you can send an email. Actually, you can go to the Gold Strike website, www.goldstrike.com. You can email Topgolf Swing Suite at goldstrike.com and request a reservation, or you can call the property itself and ask to set aside. Usually they book them for an hour, and that'll hold up to 8 people in the swing suite. So $50 is what it is on weekdays, and then $80 on weekends for each hour. But particularly during the week, it's not uncommon. You could probably book it for back-to-back hours, even if you wanted, because there's not quite as much demand. Whereas on weekends, it stays pretty busy.
All types of different specials that coincide with the book that you could find out more about on the website. But certainly right now, in the midst of the NFL season, Monday Night Football is big, and you have a lot going on as far as that's concerned.
We do. You're right. Yeah, Monday nights, there's specials going on with both inside the book and outside. Customers can earn raffle tickets for prize giveaways, including some NFL team jerseys, by either placing bets at the book on the Monday night game, or inside the venue. If you come in to eat, you automatically get a raffle ticket just for coming in. And then there's drink specials and food specials, and you can also get raffle tickets for ordering some of those items off of the select menu. So we do drawings at halftime of the Monday night game, and then also at the end of the third quarter for some of the giveaways. And throughout the game, there's a good opportunity there to win at least something. But that's been great. And then also on Sunday nights, there's we've just started a hospitality industry night. So anyone that works in the hospitality industry can come to Moneyline, and they get 25% off of their bill. That includes alcohol, and that is between 2 p.m. and 11 p.m. on Sundays. So, again, great place if you're wanting to watch some football on Sunday, even the Sunday night game, and get yourself a little bit of a discount. It's a nice opportunity for those in the industry that a lot of times are off on Mondays.
The Moneyline hours of operation is the book is open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 10, Friday from 10 until midnight, Saturday from 8 a.m. until midnight, Sunday 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. So obviously you can get there early and get your bets in for the NFL. Video Poker Bar is open 24/7, and the restaurant Monday from 5 until 11, Wednesday from 7 to 4, Thursday 7 to 11, and Friday and Saturday from 7 to 1 a.m., Sunday from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. You got some big events coming up as well at the Gold Strike Casino Resort, including some concerts that are on the way.
Yeah, that's right. The biggest event this weekend coming up is promotion we have going on right now called Lap of Luxury. There's about $100,000 in free slot play that will be given away, along with a 2019 Audi A5. And then the concerts you mentioned, there's 3 of them actually in November. First one is November 2nd, and that's country music star Trace Atkins. He'll be here in concert at 8 o'clock that night. And then afterwards in Moneyline, we'll actually have kind of an after party in there with country music band, and they'll be playing till well after midnight. And then on November 15th, Travis Tritt is here in concert at 9 p.m. He's been here several years in a row and always puts on a fantastic show that those that attend really rave about. So expect another great show from him. And then November 22nd, Terry Fader is here, who is more of a, uses a puppet as part of his act. And
yes, he does.
Some pretty funny stuff if you've ever seen him. He spent a lot of time at the Mirage in Las Vegas over the years and has really developed a great reputation as being a phenomenal entertainer. So he's here on November 22nd at 9 p.m. as well. Tickets are available. There's a few tickets for all those shows left, and they are on Ticketmaster.com.
All right, a lot going on at the Gold Strike Casino Resort. The new Moneyline Book Bar and Grill, the South's premier sports entertainment venue, is inside the Gold Strike Casino Resort. Check it out today. Troy, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we're going to have some different folks. Troy will be back on as we move along, but each and every Friday to check out what's going on at the Gold Strike Casino Resort. Thank you, Troy.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
Take care. Beautiful. Travis Tritt, Trace Atkins. You like him or not?
I just saw Travis Tritt not too long ago at Snowden Grove.
Oh, really?
With Charlie Daniels Band. I like Travis Tritt. Trace Atkins is fine, too. I've never seen him in concert, but Trace Atkins is fine.
Did you go to the... This was the other night. I didn't ask you. I assume you didn't because you didn't bring it up. I would think you'd be front row for Carrie Underwood.
I did not go to Carrie Underwood. Me in the front row at Carrie Underwood probably would lead to trouble for me.
Would there be some sort of arrest?
That ring might not be on your finger the next week.
She might
of an arrest.
She might have to have me arrested. I'm not even sure if she might have a restraining order against me already. I don't know. It's
ouch.
I can't be that close to Carrie Underwood. That would just I would not be able to control myself.
Coming up in our final hour of the week, we got 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. That'll be coming up early in hour 3. And then at 12:25, Matt Babcock will join us, the owner and founder of Babcock Hoops. He's a former NBA agent, was recently at the University of Memphis Pro Day, and he's going to break down the Tigers and their future in the National Basketball Association. That'll be coming up in hour number 3. And I think we'll have some time to take your phone calls on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255. Text in on the First Bank text line at 67129 or message us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Facebook, Periscope, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
I'm here interviewing Macaulay Williams, CEO of Big River Distilling Company here in Memphis. Macaulay, tell us about the uniqueness of your Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye.
Well, Eli, both my products, Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye, are produced right here in Memphis, Tennessee. The Blue Note Bourbon is a premium small batch blend, minimum age of 9 years, served at 93 proof. The Riverset Rye is a straight rye whiskey, also at 93 proof. It's a great spicy, herbaceous tone. It's great in cocktails.
Where can folks find the Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye?
Both products can be found at any local liquor store here in Memphis and also at most bars and restaurants. Next time you're around the town, be sure to ask your bartender for a glass of Blue Note or Riverset.
And is there anywhere else that folks can get more information about your products?
Yeah, absolutely. At our website, BlueNoteBourbon.com or RiversetRye.com. Also, be sure to follow us on social media at Blue Note Bourbon or at Riverset Rye.
All right, well, that sounds great. I can't wait to try a bottle.
Yeah, Eli, I really appreciate the support, and hopefully you and your listeners can pick up a bottle today.
Your University of Memphis women's soccer team is ranked in the top 10 in the nation and has been dominating opponents on both ends of the field. We'll attempt to break the all-time Memphis soccer attendance record on Sunday, October 27th at 1 p.m. at the Tigers Soccer Complex on the Park Avenue campus. So bring the whole crew and enjoy an afternoon of Memphis soccer, along with incredible family-friendly concession prices, including dollar hot dogs. Be a part of a record crowd and support Memphis women's soccer on Sunday, October 27th at 1 p.m. Parking and admission are free.
The doors never close 24 hours a day at Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 12 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town, grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. We'll also have a dolphin chatter excitedly in front of the perfect candidate. Okay, there's no dolphin. But skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
I almost never go to Central Barbecue without running into somebody I know.
That could be because you only eat at Central Barbecue.
It's because Central Barbecue is where Memphians go to get barbecue and has consistently been voted the most popular barbecue restaurant among locals.
Actually, that's really saying something.
I know. Memphis is the nation's capital of barbecue. With all the choices, people who live here go to Central Barbecue.
They do get their share of tourists.
Sure, because Central Barbecue has been mentioned on TV and in tons of national publications. You know why?
Because of the great food?
Because those TV shows and magazines look for the place where the locals go, and that, my friend, is Central Barbecue.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also keep up to date with everything going on by keeping up with Sports 56 on social media. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch for information on breaking news, chances to win prizes, and video of all the shows. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Stay in touch with Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 on social media. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays presented by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by 34 North Cocktails. Pop a top on a barrel thief or sneaky pucker from 34 North Cocktails today. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Tommy Two-Tone. 30657. No. That thing is engraved in our minds. We can never get that thing wrong.
I used to have a phone number that
Jenny.
I had a phone number that ended with 5309.
Oh, really?
When I lived in Iowa, my home phone then ended with 5309.
What's a home phone? I'm just kidding.
Did you have a lot of dudes calling you, thinking they got the right number for Jenny?
It did not start with 867.
Yeah,
so
but they accidentally put in your area code or whatever it is, the first 3 digits anyway, and they got Eli on the other side of the other side of the line, and I was like, "What the hell are you calling me for?" 12:03 is the time. Final hour of the program. Sports 56 Middays delivered each and every day by our title and presenting sponsor, the great folks at FedEx. No matter what stage you're at in your business, there's room to grow online. Learn more at fedex.com/ecommerce. We are in the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. Their factory direct pool table and spa sale going on right now with free installation on all in-stock pool tables, free playing package, free choice of felt pool tables as low as $12.99. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Right now, folks, we want you to jump on the phone lines at 360-8255 because it's time for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
Interesting question I have for you guys today. Athletes who played 2 or more professional sports. Professional sports. So that's the key word, professional, and again, sports. It does not just football, basketball. Athletes who played 2 or more professional sports. I'll give you a name of an athlete. If they have, it's a yes. If not, it's a no. Need you to jump on the phone lines right now, 360-8255. Eli, what prize package have you put together today?
The winner of 10 in a row will get a $25 gift card to Golf and Games Family Park. Also, $25 gift certificate to Sunrise Memphis. Fantastic for breakfast and lunch on Jefferson. Sunrise, if you've never been there, you got to check that place out for sure. Also, a $25 gift certificate to Roosters Men's Grooming Center. So 25, 25, 25.
Nice. Nice prize package. Don't delay. Don't get shut out. 360-8255 is the phone number. Athletes who have played 2 or more professional sports?
First up on the First Bank phone lines, again, 360-8255, 360-8255. It is Thomas. Hello, Thomas.
Hey, Thomas.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, man.
Here we go. Drew. Okay. Dave Winfield.
Yes.
Drew Henson.
No.
360-8255. Jump on the phone lines. Don't delay, ladies and gentlemen.
Charles? Charles?
Yeah, how's it going?
How are you, man?
Yeah.
All right. Pedro Guerrero.
Yes.
360-8255 is the number. Athletes who played 2 or more professional sports.
Pedro Guerrero. I haven't heard Pedro
Boy, nobody
Guerrero.
likes this question.
It's a little tricky. Tricky.
They're waiting for somebody to get it down to 8 or 9 and then jump in. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say this every Friday. If you don't call in and start guessing, we move on. And nobody gets the win. And we have 3 $25 gift certificates, a nice prize package for you today. The question again, athletes who played 2 or more professional sports.
360-8255, 360-8255, First Bank phone line. Again, $25 to Golf and Games Family Park, $25 to Sunrise, and $25 to Roosters Men's Grooming Center. All go to the winner. Let's see what Jay can do. Hey, Jay.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, Jay. Dave Winfield.
Yeah.
Drew Henson.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Eric Dickerson.
No.
Mickey Mantle.
No.
Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
Dale Murphy.
No.
Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
John Elway.
Yeah.
Connie Hawkins.
No.
That's how it's done, Jack. That's what I'm talking about.
Very well done. You are a winner. You got yourself the whole prize package coming your way. Hold on.
Wow, how about that?
Very well done.
That was really good. You doing second chance? You got Tim.
I'll give Tim a shot.
Let's give Tim a shot.
Tim's on the line. I'll give Tim a shot.
All right, Tim. I
What's
talked
up,
him
Tim?
into it now. Don't let me down.
All right, here we go.
Pedro Guerrero.
No.
Bo Jackson.
Yes.
Roger Staubach.
No.
Deion Sanders.
Yes.
Dominique Wilkins.
No.
Brian Jordan.
Yes.
Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Tim Tebow.
Yes.
Charlie Ward.
Yes.
Dave DeBuscher.
No.
Oh! Great run by Tim, but not good enough. Dave DeBuscher, former Knicks star. So there you go. Two-way.
What other sport did Dave DeBuscher play?
I don't know. I have no idea. But he did.
How do you know he's a yes?
Well, I looked up multiple sports, and I knew it last night when I looked it up. But yeah, Dave DeBuscher. Now I'm gonna have to look up Dave DeBuscher's career. Dave DeBuscher didn't
basketball
play
and baseball.
Baseball. Yeah, I was gonna say he didn't play football, but good. I mean, bad start, but boy, oh boy, did Jay bring it home, and Tim almost nailed in the second chance. So we got through every one of these names, but of course some amazing players. Dave Winfield in college played 3 sports. And played 2 professionally.
He was drafted in 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Drafted in 3, right. Herschel Walker, by the way, some might say, well, wasn't he on the USA bobsled team? Yeah, that's not professional. But aside from football, he also was in MMA. People forget about that. Mixed martial arts, professional. Russell Wilson, minor league professional baseball player.
This weekend is the big move for Edwin Watts. They are going to be moving to their new location this weekend and will be open at the new location on Monday. The new address is 5895 Poplar Avenue. It's in the Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center. You've got Target there, Best Buy. I think there's a PetSmart in there, right there. Right there were basically 240 and Poplar kind of. That's where the new location for Edwin Watts is going to be. Now, they will be open in the current location through tomorrow.
And then Sunday they will be moving. So they will not be open on Sunday. Sunday is the moving day. So if you're going today or tomorrow to Edwin Watts, go to the current location, the old location. On Monday is the first day they will be open at the new location in the Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center. So it's a bigger store. Looking forward to checking out the new store, new location of Edwin Watts for all your golf supply needs, everything from the world of golf. They've got it for you at Edwin Watts. If you're looking for new clubs, if you just need some balls or maybe gloves or looking for apparel, they've got it. They've got all the new stuff, training aids. They can do that, bags, whatever. Maybe you just want to get your clubs re-gripped. They can do that for you. They can do it all at Edwin Watts. They can fit you for clubs right there in the store. You can go try out the new clubs, the new fall clubs, fall line of clubs that are out from all the different club makers. Hit those, see which ones feel the best. Pick out the ones you like and then get fitted. You can do it all right there in the store. But again, they're moving this weekend, but they are open through tomorrow at the current location. Sunday is the move, so they're not open. Monday, they'll be open at the new location for Edwin Watts.
DraftKings has posted win totals for college basketball, and Gonzaga tops the list with the number 27.5 for the Bulldogs win total. Memphis is next. The Tigers at 26.5, followed by Duke and Michigan State, each at 25.5. Kentucky, North Carolina, and Villanova 24.5. Kansas at 24. The defending national champion Virginia Cavaliers opened at 23.5. Louisville, Ohio State, Texas Tech at 22.5. So what do you think about that win total for the Memphis Tigers, which is very close to the win total for the Grizzlies? Preseason win total. That was like 27 or something like that, right?
Grizzlies, the last I saw was 26.5.
Exactly the same. So what would you do right now if you had $1,000 and you had to bet? Would you go over or under on the Memphis Tigers at 26.5?
What does that count? Does that count conference tournament?
It's not specific. Let me see. I'm going to assume that's just regular season win total. Let me see if it says. The win totals bet is for the regular season only, does not include conference or any other postseason tournaments.
I would probably go under if it's just the regular season.
You would go under 26.5. After the
I wouldn't feel
first
good about
half
it.
performance
I
from
wouldn't
last
feel
night.
great about it, but I would probably, if you're just talking regular season, I would probably go under.
Gonzaga went 29-2 last year, and they're, as I mentioned, posting the highest win total, 27.5. Yet they lost Brandon Clark, now with the Grizzlies, Rui Hachimura, and Zach Norvell Jr. They lost an awful lot from that team. Mark Few still has a lot of talent. And again, they don't play in a real strong conference in the WCC. But that's a large win total for Gonzaga. And for Memphis at 26.5, certainly a lot of respect. Speaking of respect, did you see the story about Marc Gasol's championship ring with the Raptors?
I did indeed.
For those who have not heard this story, he had engraved into his ring the motto, grit and grind.
Because grit and grind can never die.
And it can never go outside Memphis. Toronto, you never look at the Raptors or any other team. It's always Memphis. So he's paying homage to the Grizzlies. It's unbelievable.
It's not unbelievable. It's Mark. It's very Mark.
Well, here's what's unbelievable. That, like, when you tell the Toronto people what you want engraved on your ring and you're paying homage to another team that you played for, they're cool. They're cool with it. Okay, that's fine. How about something for us? Nah, I picked up a ring with you guys. That's fine. But my love is in Memphis, and my love is for the Grizzlies. I think that's tremendous. Absolutely tremendous.
I mean, the whole ring is Raptors.
I understand that, but still, I mean, it's like, you're engraved. What do you want engraved here? Death to the Raptors. No, we can't use that one, but grit and grind. Love it. So good for Marc Gasol. Not so good for Corey Vereen, the former Tennessee Vol standout who played with the Memphis Express of the Alliance of American Football, was one of the guys who was selected in the recent XFL draft and now is bailing from that because he says they are not living up to what they promised with their contracts.
Yeah, it's it's a weird kind of thing that they're doing now. That the quarterbacks of the league apparently are going to be well paid, but the rest of the guys, not so much. They basically have a system, and it's I'm gonna pull this up here to see exactly.
It's like 50-something thousand was the expected amount, the median salary, or was it or just the average salary?
Non-quarterbacks are going to this is what they told the agents before they did the draft, that non-quarterbacks would receive $2,080 every 2 weeks they are under contract, which is a max base salary of $27,040 for the season. Then there are $1,685 bonuses for being on an active game day roster, and another $2,222, which I don't know where they came up with these amounts, $2,222 for players on the winning team. So what it comes out to is a player who is active for all 10 games and is on a team that goes 500. If your team goes 5-5 and you're active for every one of the games, you would get $55,000 for the year.
Well, that doesn't sound as bad as what Corey indicated. However, it's obviously stipulations with how good your team is, and nobody knows how good each one of these teams are going to be. It's the first year of the league, for goodness sake. So he expected $50-something thousand no matter what, and now it's 20-something thousand, and then the stipulation of you win a certain amount of games, you get this amount of money. He doesn't want it to be a late. What do you call it? Incentive induced.
He's making more money right now as a software developer, so he's not going to give up a higher paying job to go get his brains beat in to make less money, which makes sense.
Right, and he actually made more money with the Alliance, but there was the question of getting the checks and not having those checks bounce. They eventually got all their money, and that's why he did it, because the chance to continue playing football at a pretty good salary. This one promised a better salary. It's just not delivered. And again, if you're going to do it because of incentives, that's your prerogative. As you said, he's got a great job. Why get your brains bashed in for something that's not guaranteed?
They say that the quarterbacks are going to be making, I don't know if this is all the quarterbacks or how this exactly works. Maybe it's the ones that were assigned to the teams, or if there's any difference. But quarterbacks are going to be paid up to nearly $500,000.
Really?
So
that's not bad.
They are valuing the quarterback position greatly. You guys, $500,000. Everybody else, well, if you could win a bunch of games, maybe you get up to $60,000.
Well, look, we know the importance of quarterback. However, it's a team sport. As Russell Baxter was talking about earlier on our program about that situation with quarterbacks, and the other players still have to be good at what they do. The quarterback's only as good as that offensive line is blocking for him, and those receivers are catching the football, and that coach and the offensive coordinator and their game plan and their schemes. It's not just a quarterback going out there and doing it by himself. I can understand them making a lot of money, but it's got to be a little bit more evenly distributed, in my opinion.
Vereen's quote was, how are you going to sit here and get all these people together and try to get the best talent for your league and pay them $27,000? I love the game, but I'm not going to be taken advantage of at the end of the day. I have an engineering degree. I'm a software developer. My current job makes more than that. I'm not doing that, unfortunately. It looked like a great opportunity. He asked if he was aware of other players mulling this decision, and he said most definitely.
Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs is a simple call away. My friend Brandon McCullough is the owner of this company, started it from scratch. Give him a holler at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing with many different plans and options, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same as cash option to work with your insurance company or out of pocket. They do residential and commercial roofing, so business owners and property managers, if you have a leak or any other roofing issue, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured and a member of the Better Business Bureau. And you get a 5-year labor warranty on all roofs. Don't forget the $100 referral fee as well. You can pick up $100 referring somebody to Pinnacle. If they end up using Pinnacle, you're picking up $100 for that referral. They do carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, install shingles, put up fencing, siding, rotten wood repair. If you can't do it yourself, and more power to you if you can, call the experts like I do at Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Quality work at a very reasonable price. If you missed the phone number, you're driving around, you can't write it down, just call the station. We'll get you that number or the number to any of our sponsors. But Brandon McCullough, 901-438-5084. Tell him I sent you. Go online to newroofmemphis.com. Find out more about the company. Again, locally owned and operated, Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. When we come back, Matt Babcock, the owner and founder of Babcock Hoops, former NBA agent, joins us. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
I'm here interviewing Macaulay Williams, CEO of Big River Distilling Company here in Memphis. Macaulay, tell us about the uniqueness of your Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye.
Well, Eli, both my products, Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye, are produced right here in Memphis, Tennessee. The Blue Note Bourbon is a premium small batch blend, minimum age of 9 years, served at 93 proof. The Riverset Rye is a straight rye whiskey, also at 93 proof. It's a great spicy, herbaceous tone. It's great in cocktails.
Where can folks find the Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye?
Both products can be found at any local liquor store here in Memphis and also at most bars and restaurants. Next time you're down the town, be sure to ask your bartender for a glass of Blue Note or Riverset.
And is there anywhere else that folks can get more information about your products?
Yeah, absolutely. At our website, BlueNoteBourbon.com or RiversetRye.com. Also, be sure to follow us on social media at Blue Note Bourbon or at Riverset Rye.
All right, well, that sounds great. I can't wait to try a bottle.
Yeah, Eli, I really appreciate the support, and hopefully you and your listeners can pick up a bottle today.
This is happening. Me in my office on Monday. Project hanging over my head like an anvil. And the new guy Rick shows up.
Been thinking about your problem there, boss. The answer's Upwork.
I'm not sure about Rick, but now I'm on Upwork and I'm seeing all the freelance help I need. Creative directors, designers, PMs, all available now. Then I see something even better. Project delivered. With Upwork, this is happening.
People call me R-Dog.
Yeah, that's not happening, Rick.
Upwork. Hire freelancers, make things happen.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials, like Monday, baked chicken, Tuesday, chicken fried steak. Yum. Fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday, Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $7.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $9.99. And veggie plate, $8.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Man, you're making me hungry. Let's go. You drive, I'll buy.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's, Eddie Smith and the Memphis Spunk Horns, Reba Russell and the Natchez Band. Open 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. daily. Neil's Bar and Grill,
where the fat man rocks.
Mid-South Power Distributors is your source for all things diesel. For more than 26 years, they've supplied all the diesel parts that you need. From simple repairs to complete overhauls, they have it all. Whether it's heavy, medium, light-duty, agricultural, marine, or off-road, Mid-South Power is the leading source for all things diesel. Fuel injection, turbochargers, engine parts, alternators, starters, and brakes, they can supply all the parts and services you need. Stop in today at 3250 Mill Branch Road in Memphis or call 901-396-0710.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC-accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselemonbrace.com.
Dedicated our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
This is Jason Mott. Join me November 9th downtown at the Column for our 8th annual Jason Mott Foundation Cornhole Challenge. Doors open at 6. For tickets and more information, click the events tab at jasonmottfoundation.org. Looking forward to seeing you out there, and let's strike out cancer.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays presented by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by 34 North Cocktails. Pop a top on a barrel fee for Sneaky Pucker from 34 North Cocktails today. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Welcome back, everybody. 12:26 the time. Final half hour and change for us today and this week here on Middays. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoie, Austin Eldridge in the Family Leisure Studios. Grizzlies with their home opener tonight against the Bulls. And then Monday, the Tigers back in action as they will take on Lemoyne Owen in their second and final exhibition game. Last night, no James Wiseman, who has not played in anything for the Tigers. He has not played in the Madness. He did not participate in the games in the Bahamas. But, of course, around here, people have had a chance to watch him many times playing for East High School. And just recently, there were
He was out there for the Madness. He played in the Madness. He was part of the dunk contest and played in the scrimmage.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He did. But, again, it's a glorified scrimmage. It's not like a game, even though yesterday was an exhibition. That was a game, and he wasn't available, and he didn't play in any of the exhibition games in the Bahamas. But recently, the Tigers had their pro day, and there were NBA personnel from all over the league, and there were former NBA scouts and agents. They were all there assembled as well to watch these players put on a show. And one of those gentlemen that was there is Matt Babcock. He's the owner and founder of Babcock Hoops, and you can follow him on Twitter at MattBabcock11. And we're going to get his thoughts on what he felt the Tigers did during Pro Day right now on Middays as he joins us here on Sports 56 Middays. Matt, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. So when you were there, and I was there for the first few minutes with the media, and then they kicked us out, and you guys obviously were there to watch the entirety of it. James Wiseman, who's been slowed by an ankle and did not participate last night, as I just mentioned, and Penny Hardaway said yesterday that he hopes to have him Monday and certainly hopes to have him for the start of the season, but he didn't really get into the details. Was he 100% when you guys were watching him on Pro Day?
Yeah, he seemed fine to me. I'd seen James a number of times before, so there wasn't any big surprises. Yeah, he didn't seem to miss a beat at the Pro Day.
What did you see from Pro Day that you didn't already know, or was it pretty much what you knew?
Well, I'd seen most of the guys, before in previous high school events and whatnot. The one guy that really did stand out a lot to me that I did not know was Damian Baugh. I'd heard just sort of some rumblings about him, doing really well in the Bahamas, but I didn't see that myself. And he was a really pleasant surprise. I mean, that was the one takeaway that I walked away with. Hey, that's a new name that we need to kind of move up our list here a little bit.
With Wiseman, right now, if you had to guess, would you say Wiseman or Anthony Edwards or maybe somebody else would be the number one pick?
It's super early. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done by all these teams, and see which team actually gets the first pick. If I were to bet on it, I would say Wiseman. I just think he's so unique. I mean, just with his size, his fluidity, and skill level, that there's just not many guys that come around quite like him. So I would if I had to pick today, I would pick him. If there is, and certainly you want to work to get better. Every single player does, no matter the skill level. But is there one area that you would say, listen, I think he needs to improve here? What would it be? I think his, and this is just a nitpicking type thing when you're talking about a player at this level. Mm-hmm. He's not an alpha dog type personality. Just seems like a really nice kid, and that could be something that he could be criticized about. I'd like to see him take over games, be more of a vocal leader. I don't know if that's just in his DNA or not, but that would be the one thing that would hold me back of, hey, what's the holdup for this kid being a superstar or not.
As you're assessing, especially the bigs today, how much different is it in the aspect of, with the way the game has changed, how important it is for them to be able to, at least have some ability to face up and knock down a jump shot?
Yeah, there's that. I mean, a lot of the NBA coaches in this day and age, like to spread the court. I mean, guys like Brook Lopez have sort of like transformed their games from being low post scorers to, essentially a stretch big. So I do think that is in James' advantage. The biggest issue with true big guys in today's game is the way the referees are calling fouls or not calling fouls. You can't. On a high pick and roll, you can't be very physical anymore. And so a guy that is not able to move his feet well just gets exposed so badly. So I don't think that's an issue with James. So, similar to DeAndre Ayton, he's a big, sort of throwback, big guy in a lot of senses, but he moves his feet really well, and so he's not a liability on the floor on the defensive end.
Matt Babcock joining us here on the program, owner and founder of Babcock Hoops, former NBA agent. You can follow him on Twitter at Matt Babcock 11. When you go to a pro day, and in this example, obviously the Memphis pro day, what's important from what you're seeing? What are you looking at that you really care about? And what are a couple things that this is worthless? Why do we need to know this?
It depends on the pro day. I mean, I thought Memphis did a good job of showcasing the kids' talents, but they played a little bit too. So we were able to evaluate them in live action for a decent while. I don't think there's, evaluating players in general, I don't think there's one thing or another. It's just kind of trying to get as much out of it as possible. Just, body language, getting an up-close look at their body types and their physical development, and then obviously their skills on the floor. So it's a little bit of everything, just getting an up-close, view of the kids.
Do you also get to interview them? Do you get to talk to them?
I did not. I don't know if other people did or not. I don't think so. But yeah, generally the pro days, they're not made available for interviews.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of Precious Achiuwa, another big guy, and he's certainly got the physique. But what did you think of his? What do you think of his game?
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by Precious. He's got his physical tools are off the hook. I mean, you just look at him; he looks like a player. As soon as he walks in the door, and he's got a well-rounded skill set. I'd like to see him polish things up a little bit. I think he needs some coaching as far as shot selection, just sort of like the little things, just kind of fine-tuning his game. But he's got so much upside. I mean, he could end up being a top pick as well.
They have a plethora of guards, as you know, that have a lot of talent. Damian Ball, kind of the one that I don't think a lot of people around the nation knew about, but I think they're starting to know him more. And you just mentioned that you saw him and you're kind of wowed by him. What does Damian Ball bring to the table, and what are things that you believe he needs to continue to work on to be a really good NBA prospect?
Well, he's got good size for a point guard, and he's a terrific athlete, and he's got a nice swagger, motor to him. I think defensively he's going to be effective day one, and then offensively too. I mean, like the way it seems like they're going to play, with an up-tempo, aggressive approach. I think he fits that perfectly. The big question mark with Damian is his outside shooting, which it's not completely broken, but it seems to be pretty inconsistent. If he's able to shoot the ball well, I think it opens up the floor for him pretty good.
What about Boogie Ellis, one of the other guards, a much more highly touted guard as far as the recruiting rankings and all that go? What do you think of Boogie?
I like Boogie a lot. I've seen him several times before. Every time I see him, I like him a little bit more. It seems like he's maturing pretty well, and he's just a scorer. I mean, he's just got a knack, and I think he's more of a two guard, but he could play on the ball as well. And he's starting to get he was more highly rated than Damian. But I think people are sleeping on him a little bit too. This backcourt is going to cause some problems for their opponents.
How many of these guys do you think realistically, and it would be, I guess, maybe a smart decision to be one and done?
I think those four guys that we mentioned, they're all on our radar for this year. with James and Precious, they're the kind of kids. I mean, we're expecting them to be in the draft. I mean, they're so highly rated that it's just kids like that generally already have one foot out the door. With the guards, they need to produce. I mean, they definitely have the talent to play in the NBA. I think myself and NBA personnel would like to see them do some good things this year. For them to solidify their draft market where it's not too scary of a situation of keeping their name in the draft. So it's sort of a wait and see type of thing.
What about a guy like DJ Jeffries, who's just a long athlete? How does his game translate?
Yeah, I think it translates well. He's got great positional size, and he's a deceptive athlete. I mean, for his body type, sort of being a thicker guy. I mean, he moves really well. He's great, finishing in transition, and seems to be able to hit a shot from outside as well. So I would expect him to play in the NBA, whether it's this year or down the road. I don't know. Again, it's so early. It's just a wait and see type thing.
Yeah, I think it's a great evaluation of Jeffries. He's smooth. He's really smooth. Last night, opened up the exhibition game, knocking down a corner three, has a really good-looking jumper. A guy we haven't mentioned yet is a guy I like because I like big guards in college, and sometimes it transitions to the NBA very nicely. Sometimes it doesn't, depending on their speed, but that's Lester Quinones. Here's a guy who's got the size and has a pretty good outside stroke.
Yeah, no, I didn't know Lester before the pro day. He's interesting, and he's got the football player type build. I mean, to classify him as a guard is, I don't know necessarily accurate. I kind of look at him as a guy that doesn't really have a true position. But he can kind of guard everybody. He's tough. He plays hard. And he can shoot from outside. And I wrote an article about the pro day recently, and the way I described him is I could see him filling a role similar to like a PJ Tucker. Who's what position is he? What exactly does he do that translates? He's just a player. You put him out there, he's going to help you win games. And whether that'll be on the NBA level or not, I'm not sure. But he's going to be a good player for Memphis at the very least.
Now we just got to work on his shorts because it's unacceptable the way he wears his shorts. I just can't. I cannot deal with the diaper look. It's way too much. I did want to ask you, going away from Memphis, because you've been doing this. You evaluate players. You've been around the game and the NBA and all that stuff. What do you think about kids doing the R.J. Hampton? Making the decision to go play professional basketball overseas versus playing high-level college basketball? Is there an advantage, disadvantage? What do you think of that kind of the comparison of the two ways of developing?
It's somewhat of a loaded question. I mean, the way I kind of look at it, and this goes back to my experience when I was an agent, is I looked at every player's situation completely different. Every guy's at a different stage, maturity-wise, physically, mentally. It just sort of depends on what your priorities are and what you're needing to work on. I mean, I think it's sort of like the natural maturity process. Going to college is a big step. You're still socializing with kids your own age. You're getting sort of like father type coaching from your college coach. I mean, you go pros. I mean, you're dealing with grown men. You're having to learn to take care of yourself. It's just it's something that I think can be effective for certain players, but could be a disaster for others. So it's really a case by case type situation.
And how much have you seen Hampton? What do you think of his game?
Yeah, so I've seen him twice recently. I saw him practice in Memphis. I had to leave before they played the game, and then I went to the next game against Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City Thunder, excuse me. And I like him. I mean, he's got some clear cut things he needs to work on. I mean, he's not a shot maker right now. I think he's got decent shooting mechanics, but he's not shooting at a high rate. And then he's physically weak. Typical for a young 18-year-old guard. But he's got some things that translate to the NBA well. He's got pretty good size, and he's just got elite speed and quickness. He's got a real nice burst about him, and he's a quick twitch athlete. I'm pretty intrigued with him.
Matt, I'm sure like everybody else, when you first laid your eyes on a guy like Zion Williamson, you thought this came from outer space. This is so unbelievably different. A guy that big that could move like that and be able to finish around the rim like he does. And then, of course, we get the news that he's going to miss the first couple of months of the season. And now a lot of stories pop out about whether or not he's too big and that he's going to be injury prone. What do you think about a guy like that who is a football player playing basketball, who is so nimble and quick that he's just a freak of nature?
Yeah, no, he's a tough one. I mean, because you really can't compare his body type to anybody else, And especially adding that he's such an elite athlete. So I mean, common sense would tell you that much weight on his knees and how much he's exploding. There's going to be more wear and tear than the average guy. I mean, to speculate long term, I don't know. I mean, it's really tough to say. I hope he's healthy. Just
so do we.
From a fan standpoint, I like to watch him.
Yeah,
he's an exciting player.
There's no doubt about that. What do you think? What do you think the Grizzlies got in Ja Morant?
Yeah, Ja's big time. I mean, I went out to see him last year, and he's just a player. He's just sort of how I described Boogie, just having a knack. This kid's just a playmaker. I mean, whether it's creating for himself or setting up with his teammates. Guy gets in the paint. Guy just makes plays. He's gonna be great, and teaming him up with Jaren Jackson, that's gonna be a fun duo probably for years and years.
One other guy I wanted to ask you about for what will be in this next year's draft. What's your? I don't know how much you've seen him, but everybody knows him. What do you think of LaMelo Ball?
Yeah, no, I've been a little slow to warm with him. Obviously, he's gotten a lot more attention than most kids. I mean, started when he was 15 or so.
Mm-hmm.
He's grown tremendously. It seems like his body's starting to fill out. He's a really good player. We recently just did some video scouting of him, and I mean, I think he's going to at this stage, it's looking like he's probably going to be one of the top picks in the draft. I would like to see him, shot selection sort of, improve a little bit, and just natural maturity. I'd like to see him, progress some more. But yeah, he's moving up. That's for sure.
Do you and again, though we're asking you to project something to impossible, but do you think he's better than Lonzo long term?
He's got a chance to be. And it seems like he's grown to be slightly bigger. He's definitely a better shooter and scorer. I think Lonzo's naturally a better playmaker, but LaMelo's made some strides there. So we'll see. I mean, it's hard to project when these kids are this young, but yeah, he's definitely got the potential of being a big time guy.
But do you believe LeVar Ball can beat Michael Jordan in Jordan's prime? That's the question for you.
No comment on that one.
LeVar certainly thinks he can. He is Matt Babcock. He's the owner and founder of Babcock Hoops, former NBA agent. You can follow him on Twitter at MattBabcock11. Matt, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, guys. Take care.
It is pretty incredible if you go basically a year to year on Damian Ball. Like he was, I mean, kind of the other guy. Like they got all these guys, and then they got Damian Ball too. And now he's legit one of the guys who is considered a possible one and done with Wiseman and Precious and Boogie Ellis. Like it's amazing to think where he has come in the last year.
I could tell you this, Tony Sarwar, friend of the show, I mean, he said this guy is the real deal. And he was the first one to tell me about Damian Ball. And we had him on the show. And you look at Damian and you go, wow, he was kind of introverted a bit, a little shy, thin, got good size as far as height, but thin. You never know. You never know. So I guess in Matt's mind, there are 1, 2, 3, is that 6 NBA players on the current roster? I mean, we didn't ask him about anybody else. I don't know if a Lance Thomas could be, and I don't know about Isaiah Stokes, but it's 6 guys he thinks that will. I mean, he didn't say any of them can't play in the NBA.
Well, he said he thought Jeffries would be an NBA guy. He thought Quinones, he compared to NBA guys. I thought he could play, and the other 4 he said are all on the radar as one and done. So
what you don't want to be is 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you look back and you go, boy, that Memphis team in 1920, they had 6 NBA players on that team, and they didn't get to the Sweet 16. That's what you don't want to hear.
Well, it wouldn't be the Memphis team from 1920. I know that much.
2019-20.
Oh, I was going to say that I don't know who's on the 1920 team.
No, I said the 2019-20 team.
East Coast Wings and Grill, folks. If you want to go watch some action, whether it be the Grizzlies tonight, college football, NFL football over the weekend, any games, the baseball, they'll have that on as well tonight. East Coast Wings and Grill has TVs everywhere for you to watch all of the different stuff, all the different games that are on. And while you're there, you can enjoy some great food, including the great wings, 60 different flavors to choose from. It's always fresh, never frozen food at East Coast Wings and Grill. Beyond the wings, many other different things to choose from, including their flatbreads or their great juicy Angus burgers or their sausage and cheese plate. A bunch of different things to choose from at East Coast Wings and Grill. And as I always talk about the food, but there are great people there too. Tim is the owner, who you'll see him in there a lot, and he'll be, he's always having a good time. Great to talk to. Jackson. My man Jackson, if you go in there, you got to say hello to Jackson. You can always make fun of Jackson as well. He's a good sport about that. They got great bartenders, all the great folks at East Coast Wings and Grill. It's just a great atmosphere, great place to watch the games. It's very family-friendly as well. And Wednesdays, kids eat free. 12 and under, kids eat free on Wednesday nights with the purchase of an adult entree there at East Coast Wings and Grill. So it's always something special, always a great atmosphere, always good people at East Coast Wings and Grill. They're just off Highway 64 next to the Lowe's. Go by there, watch the games, or just enjoy some great food and great atmosphere. East Coast Wings and Grill.
All right, we'll take a final timeout, come back and put a wrap on this Friday edition of Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab a seat for happy hour. Johnny Radio's happy hour from 1 to 3 on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
The doors never close 24 hours a day at Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 12 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town, grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
One thing I really admire about Central Barbecue is their commitment to quality.
Then why do they let you do their commercials?
I'm talking about their food. Everything is prepared with devotion to taking the time and effort to create perfect barbecue.
Oh, I know. That's exactly why I was wondering why...
They're not kidding with that slow-smoked Memphis-style slogan. They smoke their pork for 14 hours. Do they have to? They do if they want to be the best barbecue in Memphis, and they are.
And yet they let you just throw together...
There's nothing better than Central Barbecue because they care.
Except apparently about their radio ads.
Put the Case IH legacy of power and efficiency to work in your hay fields and feedlot. Mid-South Ag Equipment has tough Case IH farm-all tractors that can handle a variety of chores fast. With their expert blend of engine and hydraulic power, farm-all tractors can easily tackle loading and material handling chores, as well as mowing and baling. Models range from 65 to 90 horsepower, so you're sure to find one that's perfectly powered for the jobs you do. Stop in or call 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag Equipment, your Case IH headquarters.
Hi there, Saver. Looking for a Medicare plan to help you save on more than just prescriptions? Medicare Advantage plans may offer prescription drug, medical, and hospital coverage. Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many Medicare Advantage plans, including United Healthcare. So when you enroll in a plan with Walgreens as your preferred pharmacy, you know you're saving smartly. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Other plans may be accepted.
For over 25 years, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 has been bringing you great local sports talk. With 13 hours of local talk daily, we continue to be Memphis's local sports leader. The day starts with Keith Parker and Elliot Wender on the press box from 6 to 7, followed by the Peter Edmiston Experience with C.J. Hurt from 7 to 10. Sports 56 Middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie takes you through lunch from 10 until 1. And then, John Harden brings you Johnny Radio's Happy Hour from 1 to 3. Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy drive you home every afternoon with Sports Time with Wolo and Stats from 3 till 6. And John Rennie wraps up the day with Southern Sports Report from 6 to 7 before we turn things over to Fox Sports Radio to get you through the evening. We also bring you Ole Miss sports, NFL football, and the NCAA basketball tournament. Don't miss anything. Keep your radio locked in right here on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays delivered by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by 34 North Cocktails. Pop a top on a barrel thief or sneaky pucker from 34 North Cocktails today. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
It will be a huge weekend in the sports world, especially locally, starting tonight with the home opener for the Grizzlies as they'll take on the Chicago Bulls at FedEx Forum. The World Series resumes in Washington, D.C., with the Astros trailing the Nats 2-0. And then tomorrow, the Tigers and Tulsa, as the Tigers now an 11-point favorite. It's 58.5, the over-under. Memphis at Tulsa. A win there would put the Tigers at 7-1. They play SMU next Saturday, who moved to 8-0 after their win last night against Houston, 34-31. And the possibility that we could find out, late Saturday, early Sunday, about game day possibly rolling into Memphis.
This hour of the program is indeed brought to you by 34 North Cocktails. And this weekend, when you're watching the games at home, run over the liquor store first, grab yourself some 34 North Cocktails. You can get the Barrel Thief, which is the bourbon old-fashioned. It tastes just like an old-fashioned, but it's out of a can. You can get the Sneaky Pucker, which is a vodka drink, which is made with super premium vodka, lavender, simple syrup, and lemonade. Very refreshing taste, just like lemonade. The Barrel Thief, 15% alcohol by volume. The Sneaky Pucker is 12.5%. They're delicious. They're convenient as heck, and you're going to love them. If you haven't tried them, I'm telling you, get by your local liquor store and pick up some 34 North Cocktails. You can pick them up in 4-packs. Very good, whether straight out of the can or over ice. You are going to enjoy them. Great for tailgates and parties, but or just sitting around the house enjoying yourself a 34 North cocktail. Time now for one final thing.
Before Greg and Eli get out of here for the day, they each have one final thing they think you should know to make it through the rest of your day. So here are Greg and Eli with one final thing.
Well, the crooks are at it again. The thieves are once again trying to get away with stealing Tom Brady's jersey. It doesn't matter if it's a game-worn jersey or a Super Bowl-worn jersey. Remember, Brady's game-worn jersey was stolen out of the locker room after the Patriots' 34-28 overtime Super Bowl win against the Falcons back in 2017. Well, authorities say a Rhode Island man visiting the Patriots Hall of Fame took a Tom Brady jersey off a display and walked off with it. Zanini Sinius of Providence was freed on his personal recognizance after a not guilty plea to a larceny charge was entered on his behalf at the arraignment on Thursday. Police say the 33-year-old was wearing the jersey under his jacket when he was apprehended Thursday, still in the vicinity of the Hall of Fame. Police say the signed jersey is worth $10,000. The team says it had not been worn in a game. So there you go. Once again, a hot item. It always will be a Tom Brady jersey trying to be stolen. It was stolen, but they caught apprehended the dude.
Last night, the Golden State Warriors opened up their new arena, the Chase Center, and they were blown out by the Clippers 141-122.
They were chased out of the new arena.
I got a kick out of the various responses from the Warriors.
Gosh, they gave it 141?
Steve Kerr said, this is not a one-off. This is the reality. There's going to be nights like this year. You've got to play through it. You've got to keep fighting and keep getting better. That's the plan. Steph Curry said, the easy answer is it's 1 of 82, but there are some glaring things that we need to correct if we're going to win basketball games consistently. Credit the Clippers. They came off a pretty intense, hard-fought battle in L.A. in Game 1, so they were battle-tested in terms of being in that situation. They started the first 6 minutes with that same intensity. Then there's Draymond Green. We blanking sucked, and we got to get better. I'm not a coach, so I'm not about to go watch a film and say, oh, well, we can build on this. I don't really give a damn about what we can build on. We suck tonight, and we got to get better overall, and that's just what it is.
Draymond, how do you really feel, man? Come out of your shell.
That's good stuff.
Really good stuff.
Steve and Steph tried to keep it as polite as possible. Draymond does not have that the polite bone in him. He's going to call it as it is. I didn't write. They have 9 guys on their roster, 23 years or younger. 20 years old or younger.
the Grizzlies say, hold my beer.
They have taken that team is from all the veterans they had to now so many young guys.
First of all, giving up 141 points, that's incredible. Second of all, maybe you and I misjudged the Warriors in the postseason. Maybe they won't be a playoff team. I asked you about that the other day, and I agreed with you as far as Golden State. When it's all said and done, maybe they'll get it together because you have Steph Curry. But there's some teams in the West that are certainly on the rise, like a Dallas, like a New Orleans, Sacramento. So maybe they won't make the postseason. Tonight,
they may not. I mean, they're not going to be one of the top seeds, but I still believe they will make it. They may not. I mean, but I'm not going to react off one loss to the Clippers.
No, but that's what we do. We reacted to a half
I know
last night.
you love
the
one game reaction.
No. You do it too. So a lot of people do. But the Grizzlies tonight, this will be a second game reaction. We'll see if they play better in the fourth quarter when games are won and lost. Do you know what the odds are for tonight? What the line is?
Bulls are a 1-point favorite.
Bulls a 1-point favorite. Again, it's the home opener for the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. If you're going out to FedEx Forum, enjoy it. I'll be looking forward to seeing if the Grizzlies can put 4 good quarters together and win a basketball game.
Again, we'll have high school football tonight. I'll have Christian Brothers in Wooddale on Sports 56. Peter Edmiston will have Germantown and Whitehaven on 96.1 and 87.7. Pre-game coverage beginning around 6:50 for those games tonight. Could be some sloppy football around the area as far as mud and the wet weather goes, but we'll have a couple of games coming your way here on Sports 56. We have no college football tomorrow on our stations because both Ole Miss and Vanderbilt are off, which is a rare Saturday that both of those are off. But Sunday, we've got the Eagles and Bills game at noon. We got
Ole
Packers.
Miss might lose to the bye week, by the way.
We got Packers and Chiefs Sunday night as well. So that's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, it's like I said, it should be a great sports weekend, and it really kicks off tonight. Our thanks to Russell Baxter, John Varlas, and Matt Babcock for joining us today. Also, Troy Douglas from the Gold Strike Casino Resort. Stay tuned. Johnny Radio's Happy Hour is coming up next. Want to send our well wishes out there to John, who's been under the weather the last few days. So Gabe Kuhn and Drew Barrett will step back in and do a great job in hosting Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Our thanks to you, folks. We really appreciate you listening to the program, all your phone calls, all your texts, and we thank you. Can't thank you enough for being a part of our program each and every day. For Austin Eldridge and Eli Savoie, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you again on Monday.
Tennessee's stood and hit the spot. I got $100 bill, friend, you keep